can't come to the game, though, obviously tune in. So I hope it's a huge following online, but also at the game. We pack the place and welcome our visitors from Chardon.
Absolutely. All right, I want to give a huge shout-out and a thank you to the Wizard, Greg Kinn, and thanks to Coach Lutz once again for coming on this week, and thanks to all of you for tuning in. Once again, you've been watching the Coach's Corner live here at Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery on Heart of Ohio Sports. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of High School Football right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Nate Mullins on the call with Tommy Hall. We've got the Wizard, Greg Kinn, on the ones and twos keeping us live. Austin Rodriguez on the camera today, and shadowing her is our intern, Zach Blythe. And then Eric Hall down on the sidelines today. That is the Adrenaline Stream, and we are live here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium for what figures to be the matchup in Division III football this week in Ohio. Tommy, couldn't have set the stage any better for this one. Man, this is a barn buster of a matchup here.
The game in the area that you talk about is an understatement, Nate, as tonight, Tiffin Columbian, they have to play almost the most perfect game that they ever have here to start in the second week of the season. In comparison to last week when they were down early against Fremont Ross 14-6, some of those moments where their backs were against the wall, Tiffin Columbian really shored up offensively and really got things underway as Bryce Rogo able to throw 13 of 18 for 244 yards, and then you couple that with Damian Brockington's performance on the ground, 3 touchdowns and 89 yards on the ground last week offensively. You're going to need all those tools and all those weapons in your Swiss Army knife here tonight offensively if you expect to upend the Hilltoppers Chardon, who are sure going to be angry after the long trek over here from the Chardon area.
Yeah, and, usually when I'm on the road, I'm not too happy about it either. So you're absolutely right, Tommy. These Chardon Hilltoppers, they're going to be locked in and ready for this one. And this is a home-and-home matchup between these two teams, as next year these Colombian Tornadoes will make the trek all the way to Chardon to take on the Hilltoppers at their home stadium. But this year they are here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium. And like I said, Tommy, this is probably one of the most premier matchups you're going to find on the schedule this year, let alone this week, as these two teams, powerhouses in Division III, set to clash here in a rematch of the 2020 state semifinal for Division III. And, man, I cannot wait for this one to get underway. Thanks again for tuning in here, folks. You're tuned in to the pregame show brought to you by XCARET Mexican Restaurant, one of our presenting sponsors here on Heart of Ohio Sports. We also want to thank Buckeye IT, our halftime show sponsor, and Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, the postgame show sponsor. All of these are presenting sponsors here on Heart of Ohio Sports. We also want to thank Hope in Fostoria, First National Bank of Sycamore, UIS Insurance and Investments, STEINMETZ Signs and Graphic Inc., Lee's Floor Covering, Little HUGO'S, 5-Star Maintenance, DAH Wraps, CLOUSE Electric, FEASEL'S Frame and Collision, Webster Industries, Burns Electric, Circle H Tire, BENCHWARMERS Restaurant and Delivery, SARA REISEN, Century 21 BOLTE in Tiffin, and Pit Stop. All proud sponsors with us here on Heart of Ohio Sports, the pulse of the Buckeye State. Tommy, tonight, timeouts are brought to you by Hope in Fostoria, our scoreboard as we take a look around the area at the scores in our area. That's brought to you by First National Bank of Sycamore. First downs tonight brought to you by UIS Insurance and Investments. We'll check in with Eric Hall, our sideline reporter, for the weather report shortly. Also, we'll have Keys to the Game brought to you by Lee's Floor Covering. Our player of the game brought to you in the postgame show by Little HUGO'S. And tonight, our opening kickoff brought to you by Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery. They are also the sponsor for the coaches interview. If you got a chance to catch that in the pregame, that was one of my favorite interviews. We got to sit down with Coach Judd Lutz at Benchwarmers this past Tuesday for the coaches corner, and you could tell, Greg, he was all business for that one.
I was going to say, I know that there was some internet issues at the beginning of the broadcast here, so it was a little choppy. So go ahead and go back and catch the whole episode.
That's right. You can go back and watch that on our Heart of Ohio Sports page. Once again, just take a look and try to find the coaches corner from this past Tuesday. And we are just about ready to get underway. And guys, luckily we have a scoreboard here tonight because it was a panic up here when I first got to the press box today, as I think some of the storm issues might have caused some issues with their scoreboard. And the scoreboard was not operational to start this one, but they got it up and running, and we are just about ready for the opening kickoff brought to you by Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery. Let's check in with our sideline reporter, Eric Hall, for the weather report. Eric, are you down there? Do you got me?
He must be muted because he's talking. I can see him talking here.
I think he's got me muted. We'll see here. Maybe.
Yep, I got you. So,
there he is. There he is.
You got me?
I got you, buddy. How's it going?
It's going good, man. This out here feels amazing. The cloud coverage, not too hot down here. It's awesome football weather, man.
Absolutely.
3 degrees. We're going to have come down about 17. So let's go.
All right, let's go. Let's time for some football. Once again, that's your weather report brought to you by STEINMETZ Signs and Graphic Inc. We are just about set to get underway here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium. The Hilltoppers will kick off, and Tiffin Columbian set to receive. This one's going to go into the end zone for a touchback, and Tiffin Columbian will start out at their own 20-yard line. Tommy, time to see that Tornado offense after they put up 41 points last week against that Fremont Ross Little Giants team.
Yeah, and as we talk about in the Lee's Floor Covering, keys to the game, Tiffin Columbian is going to have to be razor sharp. You want to talk about keys to the game, really it's Occam's razor for the Tornadoes. The simplest answer is usually the right one. Keep it simple, stick to the game plan, score often, and keep this high-powered Chardon offense off the field.
3 receiver set, handoff, Brockington up the middle, has some blockers, and he's got it up past the 25 to the 28-yard line. Damian Brockington, fresh off his 189-yard performance against the Fremont Ross Little Giants. He had 3 touchdowns to go along with that outstanding day. That's total yards. Rushing yards, I think he had about 134 in that one, so all-purpose back here. Second down and 3. Rogo back to pass, pressure, steps up into the pocket. He's going to have to take off and run, and he takes off, and he's going to get taken down about a yard shy of the line of scrimmage. So a yard loss on the play will bring up 3rd and 4.
Yeah, the Akron commit tries to zip his way back out of the pocket after it started to collapse on him as the Chardon Hilltoppers bring out a high-powered 4-4 look there.
And this defense will get after it. 2-man front, but 2 edge rushers off the outside standing up at an angle here. Brockington handoff off the left side, breaks a tackle into the open to the 35 to the 40, and he's down inside the 40 to the 41-yard line. That's a first down brought to you by UIS Insurance and Investments. And Tommy, this is what they're going to need, a heavy dose of Damian Brockington here tonight.
Hilltoppers crashed inside, able to get some pressure, collapse the packet, but arm tackles ain't going to cut it when you're trying to take down Damian Brockington, who, like you said, Nate, over 189 yards last week in week 1, looking to add to that resume here tonight from Frost-Kalnow.
Shotgun. Rogo back to pass, loads it up down the left sideline. Gooding goes for the pass, but it's incomplete as the defender was right there face to face with Brady Gooding.
Yeah, hits the coverage right in the back as he tried to find BG3 a la last week in the same fashion where Brady Gooding was good for a 62-yard touchdown bomb by Rogo.
And Rogo just got to get a little bit more air under that one, give his guy a chance to go up and get it. 2nd and 10. Ball at the 41. Hilltoppers show blitz off the edge. Rogo slings it out right side for Al Zaquani. Zaquani's got it to the 45 and out of bounds near midfield. I think they'll mark him out right at the 49-yard line, so they'll be about 2 yards shy of the first down. 3rd down and 2 coming up.
Leo Colombi cleans up Brockton on the outside there. Brings up another 3rd and short situation. But that's what these Hilltoppers are going to do to you. They're going to make you earn every yard here tonight as now the Tornadoes look to convert.
Colombi, a 2-time letter winner here, senior, one of the captains here on this team. 3rd down and 2. A loaded set here. Brockington keeps it on the direct snap, carries it forward, and he's going to be about a yard shy of the first down. They'll mark him at the, well, they're going to say no gain on the play. So I thought he got a yard out of it. Yeah, there we go.
Nice job by Chardon. Pursuing the ball as Braden Maruna.
They're keeping the offense on the field.
Comes up. Hey, you got the ball right about midfield. Trust me, this Hilltoppers defense ain't going to give you too many opportunities around this area.
Big time down here for Tiffin Columbian's offense. They got to pick up this first down.
Maybe just a hard count here to try to draw the defense.
Rogo. It's the snap. Handoff. Brockington stood up at the right side and dropped for a loss.
Austin Lazinski comes in, meets Brockington, and drives him back on a huge 4th and 1 situation, Nate, right at the 50. And now the Tornadoes, to start this one, will turn the ball over on their opening drive.
You can see a look of frustration on the Colombian coaching staff, as I don't think that was the play call. I don't think that was the designed play there. And there was noticeable confusion in the backfield. So Tornadoes, or the Hilltoppers, will take over inside Tornado territory at the 49-yard line. Will Francis, the quarterback, senior quarterback. Handoff off the left side.
Nowhere to go.
Defense right there to make the stop, and they stop him for a loss. That's a 4-yard loss on the play, on the first play of the game. As number 1, Andrew Bruce trying to make something happen, but there was a defender right in his face as soon as he took the handoff. Look at that replay. Stood up right away. And we got 2nd down and 14 coming up for the Hilltoppers. Pistol formation here. 2 receivers off to the right. Now the running back settles on the right hip. Back to pass. Quarterback slings it over the right side. Picked off. Intercepted to the 40. 35, 30. He is gone. 10-5. Touchdown. Tiffin Columbian. BG3 takes it all the way for a pick 6.
And those are the type of answers, and those are the type of things you need out of your defense. You came out in the opening drive, and Chardon came out and smacked you in the mouth, made you turn the ball over, and then here on defense, you see it right here, overthrown by the quarterback Francis over the top, and it's picked off as BG3 has ups, and now it puts 6 on the board for the Tornadoes.
Tommy, they only threw the ball 5 times last week, and you see why there, as they're just not a passing offense by design. This is a run-first offense. They want to set up the pass with the run. Snap is back, ball is down, kick is up, and the extra point from Liam Kerr is up and through the uprights, and it's 7-0 Tiffin Columbian. And that is exactly how you want to start after your offense. Turn the ball over on downs. Your defense comes out and picks up the big stop you need. That's key, Tommy. Those points off turnovers, they could be the difference in big games like this.
Oh, absolutely, and that was one that could have been one of the big issues last week as Tiffin Columbian faced adversity in those 2 early turnovers against Fremont Ross, but able to come back in that one, scored the last 35 points in that win over Fremont Ross. But like we talked about, you got to be razor sharp tonight because Chardon, I'm telling you, in this region, this is going to be the biggest hickory this TC team's axe will ever fell. And Tiffin Columbian, they're going to have to look at themselves and say, hey, we're a hickory too.
That's right. I want to remind our listeners tonight's broadcast presented by XCARET Mexican Restaurant, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, and Buckeye IT. Our pregame show brought to you by XCARET Mexican Restaurant. They are a staple in the Tiffin community. Stop in and check out their new look menu with some delicious new items you have to try for yourself. Gather your friends. Go get some queso. You deserve it. Treat yourself to the best at XCARET Mexican Restaurant located in the Tiffin Mall. Kerr kicks it away, and this one fielded at the 15-yard line to the 25. To the 30, and brought down right about the 34-yard line is the return man.
Here's another test. Again, Chardon didn't really get to reveal too many of their hands before that huge interception. Tiffin Columbian back on the defensive side of things. This is another another statement drive for the Tornadoes to try to stall out this Chardon defense or Chardon offense, who was really high-powered in that huge Week 1 win.
A.J. Bonnell checks out. That means Brady Bonnell is going to come in to replace him. First and 10. Power formation here for the Hilltoppers. Shotgun look. Quarterback's going to keep it. Off the right side, and he might have got a yard up to about the 35-yard line. And, Tommy, a lot of this offense is they want to set you up. So what they're doing now is they're giving you looks. They're showing you certain formations. They're showing you plays out of those formations so that later in the game they can show you that same formation and then run a completely different play from that same look. And that's how they get you. That's the second quarter is their quarter. Last week they put up 21 on West Yaga in the second quarter. Quarterback keeper. Defense right there to make the stop. Maximus Fortney on the stop for Tiffin Columbian.
Well, Fortney, again, he always comes up in a big way. And if you have a name like Maximus Fortney, yeah, better live up to that name. As he does that very much so for this huge defensive line who matches well up front against this Chardon front.
3rd down and 8. 2 straight runs netted just 2 yards for the Hilltoppers. And now Tiffin Columbian has them on the ropes with a 3rd and 8 here. Shotgun set. Man in motion. They're handing off to the motion man. This is Bruce on the carry. He stutter steps, cuts it outside. He's got the first down, and he's going to be driven out of bounds near midfield, right about the 49-yard line.
Well, he said on the ropes. Francis comes out swinging out of the corner, finds the edge there to reset the chains, and now the Hilltoppers have a fresh set of downs.
And Andrew Bruce is down on the field. He came up limping after that last play.
That's what happens when you're making crazy cuts like he does out there on the field. Sometimes these things happen, you know.
Well, he was hit as he was going out of bounds low around the ankles. I mean, there's a clean hit, absolutely, yeah. But it's just when that happened, I think that's what caused the injury.
And how about his ability to make that cut, though, during the run? Did you see him cut back to the right, got everybody that way, and he said, no, just kidding, I'm going to go back to the way I was going.
Yeah.
Threw everybody off.
Beautiful facilities down here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium. If you ever had the opportunity to play on that turf field, again, those cuts, it's a little bit different ball game when you're playing on the turf as opposed to the natural grass.
Let's take a look at these stats from Chardon from last week.
I already showed that one there. Sorry. I was going to do one of the senior night here.
So okay.
We'll go ahead and show one of our senior spotlight videos here.
Yeah, absolutely. It is senior night here. We have some senior spotlight videos that Greggy put together. Did an outstanding job putting these together.
Just giving you a little highlight of the seniors on the team playing here tonight.
And we'll be bringing you those throughout the broadcast here.
And it's not forgotten by
19 seniors? 19?
And it's not forgotten by that group of seniors all them years ago in that state semifinal. The running clock hung on them by this Chardon team, 47-7 in the final of that one.
That's right.
Again, I think the Rogo boys, they might have had this one circled in their calendar for a while.
Hand off to the running back on the motion off the outside, trying to find some running room, and he's going to be slung down and out of bounds inside Tornado territory, out of bounds at the 47-yard line.
That should be a good gain of about 4 or 5 yards, though, Nate.
Yeah, about 4 yards on the play, so 2nd and 6 coming up.
Now look at this. The Hilltoppers advancing the ball on the other side of the 50.
Caleb Hewitt, the ball carrier, most likely son of head coach Mitch Hewitt.
Pretty sure he had a big game last week.
Motion Hewitt. Now they're going to keep it with the quarterback off the right side. He's got some blockers out in front. Nice hurdle there as he goes out of bounds past the first down marker. Around the 40, about the 39-yard line is where they'll mark him out. So that's a good enough for a first down, brought to you by UIS Insurance and Investments.
Be interesting to see where the Hilltoppers attack on this play as the defensive front changes up a little bit, maybe a stunt look for the Tornadoes. We'll see here as they load the box.
1st and 10. They show blitz off the outside, and the run game pushes it forward for about a 2-yard gain up to the 36-yard line.
Right read by the Tornadoes.
Yeah.
In anticipation of that play, Greg.
So we talked about this earlier in the week, Nate, this ability to disguise who has the ball with Chardon. Right there, you saw a very good look of it.
They are tricky. Deceptive is the name of the game.
We told Austin, you're going to have a few times you're going to lose that ball probably in this game.
Francis, handoff. No, he's going to keep it himself off the left side, stumbles, carries it forward, has the first down up to the 25-yard line.
Francis definitely making amends off the turnover from earlier.
And hang on, I think there's a – oh, nope, never mind. I thought there was a flag, but nope.
That allowed the turnover earlier to result in points for the Tornadoes off that pick 6. And now he's got Chardon driving into enemy territory, ball on the 25 on a huge 1st and 10. 5:48 remaining in the first stanza of action here from Frost-Kalnow.
Quarterback under center, motion, hand off to the motion man off the right side. He's got some blockers. He's going to be out of bounds past the 15-yard line, and a flag flies in at the end of the play, but was it before he went out of bounds? I think there might have been a hold. Yeah, it's going to go against the Hilltoppers. Whether it was a hold or a block in the back, it was something against the Hilltoppers. I believe it was a block in the back.
And that's a shame because the physicality and the speed up front by Chardon is definitely there. You find the edge against a defense like Tiffin Columbian. Man, that erases a huge gain.
It's still going to be first down, but it will be a 10-yard mark-off, so it'll be first down in about – no. They lose 2 yards on the play, so. I thought they had it past the first down marker on that one. I guess not.
So it's going to be 1st and 12 here.
Francis fakes the handoff, keeps it off the right side, and Gooding comes up with the stop and takes him out of bounds at the 20-yard line.
And if you're the Tiffin Columbian Tornadoes in that pursuit to the ball, you have to shove your way. You're going to have receivers and whatnot trying to clog up space. You've seen it right there. Tiffin Columbian, the hog mollies up front, cleaned out. Was able to stop that one as it still, the Hilltopper train keeps chugging along as it picks up more yards and feeds the machine on a huge 2nd and 5 now going into the red zone.
Since they threw that interception, they have not thrown a pass since. It's just not their game, Tommy. That's why it surprised me to see it so early in the game.
A wingy.
Oh, high snap, over the head. Francis grabs it. Wow. Still looking to pass, though, and now he takes off and runs with it. And he's going to be cut down just before the first down marker, about a yard shy of the first down.
What a play.
But I'll tell you what, Tommy, you've said it before. That was really making chicken salad right there.
Yeah, chicken salad out of chicken, you know what, it almost results in a first down. But now the Tornadoes face a 3rd and 1 as the Hilltoppers continue to drive, ball on the 16 now.
Don't forget, If you're looking for the Calvert versus Monroeville game, you can find that on the X Stream. Go find that on YouTube. Search Heart of Ohio Sports X Stream. Handoff, right side. Oh! They have the first.
And the knee was down.
It still doesn't matter. He got the first down. As Gooding comes up to make the hit, but right at the first down marker, they'll give him the fresh set of downs. So they move the ball once again. And now it is inside the 15-yard line at the 14. We'll check in with Eric Hall after this play.
These Hilltoppers, they just move the ball so efficiently and so effectively that they eat up those yards so quickly.
Ball at the 14, 1st and 10. Francis in the shotgun. Hands off to the motion man.
Finds the edge.
And he's going to be brought down inside the 10, down to the 7-yard line. And if you notice, there's a lot of pulling linemen right now. Let's check in with our sideline reporter, Eric Hall. Eric, I want to check in with you because, man, it just seems like there's a lot of energy right now on that sideline down there.
Yeah, man, it's noticeably different than just a normal game down here with the energy of these players. And it's showing on the field down there, I think. I don't know how it looks from up there, but, yeah, these guys are getting very vocal down here, and they're letting all their guys on the field know what's going on.
There you have it. Energy level at top notch right now on that Colombian sideline. 2nd down and 3. Francis, handoff. Andrew back into the game. This is going to be a hold against the line as I could see it from here. Defensive lineman was in to make the play, but was hit, I think, from behind. That might have been a block in the back. I'm not sure what the exact call is going to be here, but
okay, there's a little cut there, too.
Could have been a cut block. Chop block, yep. Tommy got it right there. He knew. He was on it.
Oh, because I'm the master of the chop block on the pool. What are those, fresh knees?
What? Get out of here. 2:25 left here in the first quarter. It is 7-0 Tiffin Columbian over Chardon, but the Hilltoppers moving the ball here, 2nd and 13. Ball at the 17. Handoff. Off the right side, that's Hewitt trying to find some running room, and he's going to be driven out of bounds right about the 10-yard line.
But still, even on those long developing pitch outs, Nate, they're still moving forward.
That's right.
The Hilltoppers looking to cap off a 76-yard drive that started from the 34.
Well, this has got to be at least 12-play drive, 13 plays. I don't know. It's they've had a few. Over on the X Stream, you can find Calvert versus Monroeville with the Senecas leading 14-0 in the first quarter.
Magic man Harrison Schultz looking to make some magic over there in Monroeville.
Motion
in the
man.
Marsh.
Francis carries it, and he's going to be short of the first down by a few yards as the defense does a good job of coming up to make the play. He lunges forward for about a 3-yard gain, but it's going to be 4th and 3 coming up. And decision time here for head coach Mitch Hewitt.
I think this is a challenge once again.
Oh, this is big time right here.
On their opening drive, they challenged that defense on a huge 4th and 1 right around the 50. Now here with your back in the shadow of your own goalpost, the Chardon Hilltoppers, I'd challenge that right there. 4th and 3, ball on the 7. This is what high school football is made out of. All about.
Lutz is going to take a timeout here. Timeout called by Tiffin Columbian. He even said to the referee, he's like, hey, if I see a look, I want this timeout. And he called it. He saw the look he wanted. He said, come here, come here, come here. What a heads-up job there by Tiffin Columbian head football coach Judd Lutz. He saw something in that defense, and he said, no.
Well, you're going to have 3 different looks out of that, Nate. You're going to have the pitch out. You're going to have the keeper, and you're going to have the handoff. Here's the thing. Coach Lutz, seen that man in motion. I mean, Greggy, you know how they've been effective on the edge there. Now, what's Chardon's thinking? What do you think Coach Lutz is going to tell his defense to look out for? Are we going to see that pitch inside, or are we going to see them still try to challenge the offense and see if Chardon still goes back with the same play they had drawn up?
I think if I'm the Hilltoppers.
This is a gamble right here, man. I tell you, you plan for one, hope they don't go the other way.
I think if I'm the Hilltoppers, I'm going to run right behind big number 16, Andrew Baggett. Sophomore, left tackle, number 16.
Got some huge looks.
There he is on the right side of the line at tight end here. This is going to be a mismatch for whoever has to guard him if they're passing.
Look, they're going to bunch that.
I think they tried to get the offside call there, but defense stays home. Hand it to the motion man. They string it out left.
Oh.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Chardon.
What a way by the Hilltoppers on a huge 4th and 3.
Good block in the end zone there.
The Hilltoppers say, you know what, we'll take more and put a huge touchdown on the board to match against Tiffin Columbian's.
Let's take a look at that one again.
Touchdown off the huge.
That block right there.
Oh, that sealed it, man.
Huge block on Damian Brockington there on the outside to seal that edge.
I was talking about the block there on 5 to get 5 on the outside.
Yep.
Get him behind him there. Yeah, good blocks all around.
And the Hilltoppers set up for the extra point, trying to tie this one up with 1:15 left here in the first quarter.
3 yards behind that beef, I'll take it all day.
And the extra point attempt is up, and it's through, and we are tied at 7 apiece here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium.
And if you parked on Union, you might want to check your windows.
Right. Kid had a heck of a leg on him.
I thought so myself.
That is a big-time drive by the Hilltoppers there, as they answered the bell after turning the ball over on a pick 6.
See, it's such a
Now they come out and put 7 on the board here.
and it's such a double-edged sword because again, we know how instant Tiffin Columbian's offense is, and in the same breath, you want to see them kind of mirror what Chardon did on that drive. Take up as much as the clock as you can on an over 6-minute drive. To eat up most of the quarter here, as now Tiffin Columbian have 1:15 to work with for the end of the first quarter, and you know you're going to win this one by quarters.
Big time answer there by the Hilltoppers. And we are tied at 7 apiece. And these Tiffin Columbian Tornadoes, this offense has not seen the field since the first drive of the game, when we had about 11 minutes on the clock. So
yeah, the only points were the results of a pick 6.
That's right.
By Brady Gooding. And with Chardon has not thrown since.
Sam Sakrich on the kickoff, boots it away. Brockington fields it at the 10, to the 25, to the 30-yard line, and that's where he'll be brought down at about the 30-yard line.
I think Brockington knows about getting cleaned up on that touchdown block, and now he may be asking for the rock himself.
I would.
Yeah. He looked like a man possessed on that return there. We'll get a look back at this Tornado offense as Rogo and company comes back on the field. Tiffin Columbian in their blue and gold uniforms with the white pants here at home on senior night.
Akron blue for the Akron commit. Braden Rogo in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Handoff. Brockington up the middle. And he's got it up to about the 24-yard line.
And the way Brockington kind of slips through there, it's even more telling that he only gets about 3 yards on that, because that's how fast that pocket, that's how fast that Chardon's getting into the backfield, getting tremendous pressure up front.
They show blitz. 4-man coming down the left side. Rogo trying to find Jack Corper, but that is an incomplete pass. And it's going to be 3rd and 7 coming up. We didn't see a whole lot of Corper last week against Fremont Ross, Tommy, but here he is on the field today. Good to see him back out there in action.
And a quick 3rd and 7 for the Tornadoes. as the offense looking to break a sweat for the first time here tonight.
Empty backfield. They bring a man in motion. That's Brockington. Rogo steps up, slings it over the middle, incomplete. As the defense was right there to make the play. I think they were looking for Corper over the middle, but he got hung up somewhere because he was not anywhere near the ball. And that's going to be a 3-and-out for this Colombian offense. Exactly what you did not want to have happen after your defense was just on the field for 15 straight plays.
Well, you're only able to get about 3 yards on your first play. And the incomplete. And once again with another incomplete. That spells doom and gloom as the Tornadoes punt it away here and gets a nice friendly bounce.
And that's a nice punt by Braylon Auble as that goes out of bounds at the 28-yard line. Well done by the Colombian special teams unit as the Hilltoppers will have to go 72 yards to repeat the last drive.
Well, they can already prove that they did just that as their last drive from the 34 resulted in a score.
So we are tied at 7 apiece. Tiffin Columbian goes 3-and-out. Now the Hilltoppers take over once again on offense. 2 receivers out far to the right. 2 backs in the backfield.
Another high
snaps. Francis just got to fall on top of it. I'm surprised he didn't pick up and try to do something with it like he did last time. But he just said, no, let's go ahead. Let's just take the loss here.
Not the thing that you're used to seeing out of the Hilltoppers. As we talked about it during the pregame, it's going to be about the team that makes the least amount of mistakes. It's going to come out with the win here. And another high snap. Earlier, you'll watch Francis make something out of nothing off a high snap. Now the end of the quarter.
That is the end of the first quarter with your score 7-7. We are tied up here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium. Hilltoppers have the ball. When we come back, we'll be right back after this. You're watching Heart of Ohio Sports.
Don't go anywhere. You're watching Heart of Ohio Sports. Why go to Lee's Floor Covering in Tiffin? Because at Lee's Floor Covering, they know that selecting the right flooring for your home can be overwhelming. They make choosing the right items for your home simple. At Lee's Floor Covering, they have one of the largest selections of floor covering in Northwest Ohio, including Abbey Carpet and Floor. Stop in and see for yourself what everyone raves about at Lee's Floor Covering in Tiffin.
Small business owners need somebody that can open the door to financing. And at First National Bank of Sycamore, we love opening the door for financing opportunities.
You're locked into the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Heart of Ohio Sports.
All right, and we're back here. Start of the second quarter sees the Hilltoppers at their own 20-yard line facing a 2nd and 17 after a high snap over the head of quarterback Will Francis. He falls on top of it. Now 2nd down and 17. Hilltoppers have it. Looks like a little bit of a shotgun set here. Two receivers off to the right side. They bring a man in motion. Now they hand it to the motion man. Bruce on the carry. He's going to take a loss in the backfield. There is a flag, but this one is in the neighborhood of holding as I wouldn't see how it would be against the defense here. Oh, helmet to helmet? On who? It must have been a block. I don't know, because there's no way that could have gone against the defense. So they'll decline the penalty, take the loss of yards. It'll be 3rd down and long. 3rd down and about 23 going here.
Well, I tell you this much, Nate. When you come out and you start to drive with a high
crackback,
snap,
that's what it was. Yep. Receiver came down, cracked back on the linebacker who was not looking. That is illegal this year. Completely illegal. So if that's part of their offense, they better take it out. Francis fakes the handoff. Now he's looking to throw. Last time he did, he threw a pick. This one over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Air on that one.
Nice job by the Tornadoes capitalizing off the bad start by the Hilltoppers. who were forced at the high snap to fall on it, made it a 2nd and 15. I tell you, if you're a high-powered run offense, it about cuts your playbook in half to start from behind the 8 ball there.
So 4th and 23 here. Ball at the 15. Punt unit onto the field for the first time for the Hilltoppers here today. Back deep to return, Jack Newlove for the Tornadoes. Nice. High punt. Fair catch called for by Newlove. He makes the catch at the 47-yard line. That's where Tiffin Columbian will take over inside Hilltopper territory for the first time since they turned it over on downs back in the first quarter.
Generous field position to start for the Tornadoes. Off the bad series by the Hilltoppers. Now set up Tornadoes in Hilltopper territory with this drive starting on the 42, Nate.
What are you going to do with this gift? Because you were just given a gift here. Ball at the 47-yard line. You got to capitalize here. You don't necessarily need a big play, but you need to make a play. Something's got to happen here.
I still think you try to.
Rogo sets up the screen. Brockington over the middle. They got blockers out in front. Brockington, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, and out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. A beautifully drawn-up play by that Colombian offense.
Brockington, though, cleaned up on the sideline, takes a hit.
And I'll tell you what, you can tell Caleb Hewitt is a coach's kid because he is out there just chumming it up with everybody right now.
Well, here's the deal.
Hold on. What do we got here? Is there a penalty on the play?
Brockington kind of leaned over and grabbed his midsection there, and I think the whole bench kind of all went that direction. I think they were telling him all to get back. Sorry, get back to your sideline. I think what was happening there. Everybody just worried about their guy down there.
Well, the thing is, Nate, is I talked about Tiffin Columbian want to take their time on this drive, and they wasted no motion there. You thought they were going to try to go for a huge bomb, huge fireworks on first down. A little quick screen to Brockington as a handoff up the middle now. Gain about 3 on there.
Give him 4 up to the 26-yard line. 2nd down and 6 coming up. 11 minutes left here in the first half. Tied at 7 apiece. Tiffin Columbian on the move. They've got it at the Hilltopper 26-yard line. Shotgun formation. Alzaquani, the wing on the left. 2 receivers off to the right, 1 on the left. Handoff. Brockington up the middle. Breaks a tackle. Buries his head forward and picks up about 3 yards down to the 23.
Yeah, I was going to say, it should be a little more 3rd and manageable now, probably about 3rd and 3. So 3rd and 3 here. Ball on the 23-yard line. Rogo in the gun. Brockington on his hip.
Hand off to Brockington, up the middle, lunges forward and picks up the first down on the 2nd effort.
That's what you call yards after contact, Nate, and that was the thing. Brockington stood up at the line almost, able to turn them legs and lunge ahead and reset the chains and now give the Tornadoes another bite at the apple. You see here on the replay, Greg, once again, Brockington hit right there initially, keeps the legs moving, lunges ahead, able to move the chains, and now the Tornadoes got a fresh set of downs and another bite at the apple here, driving.
Rogo back to pass, looking, steps up over the middle. Oh, it's tipped and nearly intercepted. He was going for BG3. And nice coverage down the field by these Hilltoppers as they are really limiting the passing options for Braden Rogo today. He has just had no luck whenever they try to air it out.
Testing them backs. The man coverage there.
Woo! If for a team that doesn't pass the ball very often, they are well-versed at stopping the pass. Like, how do you practice against the pass when you don't have an offense that runs passing offense? So,
well, look, they're going to spread this defense out now.
Shotgun formation here, a little bit pistol look. Al-Zaquani, man in motion. They're going to have to call a timeout. There's a little confusion here as couldn't figure out what exactly they were trying to do. And you can tell the tension is kind of high right now as this is a tie game. It's a big-time drive. Let's check in with our sideline reporter, Eric Hall, as he is down there right now. Actually, I don't see him, so we'll check in with him, and we'll see. There he is. There's Eric. So we'll check in with our sideline reporter, Eric. Man, the intensity right now, it just seems like it's at a whole nother level. What's it feel like down there?
Yeah, man, the sidelines they're really vocal down here still. And you can tell that they are up for this game. It's not just a normal game for them. But it's starting to get a little of that nervous energy. You can tell they want to get up here. They need to get up 7 points right here. Now, this is an important drive right here, and you can tell.
Absolutely. Big drive here. 2nd and 10 for the Tornadoes at the 20-yard line. 2 receivers out far to the right, 1 on the left. They bring a man in motion. That's Talib Al-Zaquani.
Bring him the house.
Fake the pitch. Rogo's going to keep it himself up the middle, and he got a couple yards, maybe 3, up to about the 17-yard line. But those Hilltoppers.
Nice read by not only the Hilltoppers, but by Rogo to recognize the blitzing backs that we're going to kind of send the dogs, kind of hesitated, try to find himself an open lane to make something happen.
It definitely looked like an option play there, and Rogo chose the right option. 3rd and 7 coming up. Ball marked at the 17. Shotgun formation. Al-Zaquani in the shotgun. 3 receivers off to the right, 1 on the left. That's Bryce Rogo. Braden Rogo back to pass. Rolls to his right. Looking. Slings it over the middle. Incomplete. Trying to find Brady Gooding, but there was nobody there. There were 6 Hilltoppers compared to just 2 receivers in the area. And Tommy, it's just you're not gonna have much success when you're trying to air the ball out when you have that many defenders in the area.
Not just in the secondary, but also in your face. There's two defenders chasing Rogo down, so you definitely can't turn it up.
I mean, look, they're running cover 6, it seems like. I don't even know what to call this defense. They just have 6 defensive backs back. Is that like a dime coverage? They're just using dime? So they're going to go for it here. 4th and 7 at the 17. Rogo, empty backfield. They bring a man in motion. That's Corper. Rogo, back to pass. Looking. Slings it over the middle. Complete. He's got Corper. He's got the first down on 4th and 7. The Hilltoppers give up 8 yards, and the Tornadoes pick up the first down.
Well, once again, you rely on the ones that get you there, and Jack Corper, his presence has been missed, as on a huge fourth down play, Rogo on the replay there gets his man Corper to reset the chains.
I'll tell you what, I got a block button. I'm not afraid to use it, so.
Uh-oh.
Handoff up the middle, Brockington to the 5. If you like watching, you just keep your mouth shut.
Stop by Austin Green there as the Tornadoes turn out, face a 2nd and 6 now with the ball on the 6. Seen this.
Into the end zone, touchdown, Tiffin Columbian. BG3 from 6 yards out, and the Tornadoes are back on top.
Well, this Tiffin Columbian offense continues to impress with the amount of weapons they have here on the replays. You see here, just finding.
He hasn't had much success through the air, but that one was a pinpoint accurate pass, right where it needed to be. This Hilltoppers defense is the real deal, I'm telling you, man. Kerr is hit as he delivers the extra point. And I don't even know if he was trying for the ball there. It just looked like he straight drilled the kicker.
Yeah, they're going to throw a flag on that.
Absolutely, they should. That's roughing. That's not just running into. That was roughing the kicker because he hit his plant leg.
Well, here's the situation, Nate. Again, you have a game that with 7 7-7.
And that should be assessed on the kickoff, not on the extra point. That should be an additional penalty, correct? No, that should be assessed on the kickoff. I guess not. Maybe high school rules are different. I need to, once again, brush up on my rule book here.
Right? That seems like there's more.
That shouldn't have been a dead ball foul because it happened during the play.
The ref looked like he was about to say somewhere here. Maybe not.
What is going on? Now, why are they spotting it? Well, why are they spotting it back at the spot where they kick it from? They didn't even move the ball. So they're going to replay the extra point. I don't know why they don't just decline it. And Kerr, once again, ice in his veins, knocks it through once again. Liam Kerr says, I don't care. Give me that point. It's getting spicy in the YouTube comments.
You know, everybody's passionate about the game. It is what it is.
That's right.
But, you know, it's still high school, so we just chill a little bit.
Well, here's the situation that we were trying to talk about here is, you know, Tiffin Columbian able to get on the board with a pick six early. Chardon with a very impressive drive to take over the momentum and tie this one up. And it has been 0-0 ever since. Tiffin Columbian made good use out of a punt.
Well, let's send it down to Eric. He says he's got a little explanation for the confusion that happened down there. What exactly happened on that extra point?
Yeah, I was talking to guys on the sideline. They said that they actually tried to call that dead before the snap for an offside.
Yes,
so,
I said that.
So that technically the hit running into the kicker didn't happen because it was called dead before the snap.
Oh, okay. So there you have it. That's why we have a sideline reporter. So evidently it was called. They were trying to call it dead before the snap because of an offsides on the defense. So it was a dead ball foul, and that's why they stopped it, and that's why they had to
just a little behind getting.
There you go. It wasn't anything about me not knowing anything. Guy in the comments.
I'm going to turn the comments off.
I'm about to turn him off. Like, no, seriously.
You quit looking at the comments.
Yeah, worked up over nothing. Never take advice from somebody.
You wouldn't. Never take criticism from somebody you wouldn't take advice from. There we go. Hilltoppers on the run inside the 50 down to the 48-yard line. Big time run there by Vinny Columbi.
Immediately advances the ball past the Tornado 50, and that's what we're talking about is Chardon on that last drive starting to unravel with the penalties, the mental miscues, the high snap, resulted in them having to punt it to the Tornadoes in their own territory, and Tiffin Columbian made use of the good situation, good field, came out with another touchdown to take the lead, and now Chardon trying to erase those mistakes here late in the second quarter. As he's going to keep it here.
Francis on the run. Got it up to about the 39-yard line.
Nice pursuit to the ball by Brockington. Comes up with the tackle. So Chardon will come in with the play. Continuing to drive here. Second and second. Ball on the 39 and driving, Greg.
That's what Chardon does best.
Yeah.
Second down and 2.
Look at that motion.
They hand it off to the fullback who carries it forward, picks up the first down. Columbia once again on the carry.
Sends Columbia in motion. Then they send Bruce around.
Colombian motion.
Colombian motion.
Colombian's not even on the field.
That's on the other side of the ball. Oh, gun. Empty set. As Bruce gets the handoff. Was stopped in the backfield, able to still stiff arm his way to the outside corner here and make up a huge gain. Wow. Alex Bruce, huge 7-yard gain there, which should have been stopped back in the backfield, Greg.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pistol formation here for the Hilltoppers. They
Don't worry,
motion the running back on the right hip of the quarterback.
Colombian loads the blocks there.
Handoff, Hewitt on the carry, reverses field, now cuts it up.
All daylight.
Oh, what a beautiful run there by Caleb Hewitt. You're going to talk about stop and start. Boy, stopped and started on a dime.
Oh, I like the open lanes there for Hewitt to run through as well.
And the Hilltoppers once again with a first down. Brought to you by UIS Insurance and Investments. Ball at the 12-yard line. Two receivers out to the left. Francis, handoff, motion man. No, he's going to keep it. Little trickery there, as that's what they like to do. They're going to show you one thing, and they're going to hand it off to another one.
So deceptive.
These self-inflicted wounds by the Chardon Hilltoppers here in the first half has really shown its ugly head as the Tornadoes on top right now, 14-7 with 5 minutes remaining. But Chardon on a clean drive shows what it can do as they're just so efficient with running the ball and eating up the clock, eating up big chunk yardage, and now within striking distance on a huge 2nd and 2 with the ball on the 4-yard line.
Francis in the shotgun, two backs in the backfield. Takes the snap, handoff off the right side. Columbia on the carry, he's out of bounds.
Oh, wow.
Should be close to the first down. No, they're going to say out at the 5, so they don't give him any gain on the play.
I mean, he was just bouncing off tacklers there, but ran out of sideline.
Actually lost a yard, so 3rd down and 3 coming up here.
I seen in the comments somebody said that the Chardon coach owns an ice cream store. I wonder if it's called Ice Cream Toppers.
You better be careful. Francis, turnaround, handoff, Columbia up the middle, and he is into the end zone. Talk about powerhouse offensive line. Boy, they just absolutely plowed their way.
Yeah, the Hilltoppers on the quick snap catches Tornado defense sleeping. They plow ahead for a huge touchdown, and now has a chance to tie this one up. Man, what a drive by the Hilltoppers.
And so on to attempt the extra point here. Trying to tie this one up, and the extra point is up and good, and we are tied at 14 apiece. So it's a lot different than 2020, as these Hilltoppers got up early and often and ran all over Tiffin Columbian. This has not been the case today. Both of their scoring drives have been long, sustained, needed to pick up multiple 3rd downs on these drives. It's not like they're just out here busting big plays left and right.
No,
I'm just saying.
Both these teams are in a dogfight here.
This is going to be a dogfight between these two teams.
I like the methodic pace, the meticulous pace by the Hilltoppers as they just try to grind on teams, make them try to keep up with them as if you don't score with your opportunities on offense, the Hilltoppers will make you pay. And Tiffin Columbian, they got on top early with the turnover, and again, they've been able to make use out of bad situations that the Hilltoppers put themselves in. If the Hilltoppers are able to put together a full 48 minutes here or a very succinct 24 minutes here in the second half, they're going to be a hard team. It's going to be tough sledding for the Tornadoes. But that high-powered offense by Colombian, I mean, you talk about instant offense. That's exactly what TC puts in their cup every morning.
That's right. We'll take a look at around the area at the UIS Insurance and Investments, or I'm sorry, the what am I doing here?
First National Bank. Right?
First National Bank of Sycamore scoreboard. This was a high kick. It's going to hit down, and the Tornadoes are going to have to get on top of this.
No.
They do not.
The Hilltoppers
There's nobody there to cover the kick.
get the ball back.
And that's exactly what Chardon does to you.
What
Take a look at that one again.
a swing of momentum by the Chardon Hilltoppers as they just kind of pooch this one, but long and high. Nobody on the special teams able to field it or in the area, and Chardon quick to the ball, gets it back, and now has the ball back, and will have a chance to take the first lead of it. First Hilltoppers lead of the night.
Yeah, the return man came up there, and he was just moving too fast. That ball just shot right past him. He had no chance of getting underneath of that one or behind that one.
Turnabout is fair play. Now a tornado mistake could result in points by a very efficient, high-powered Chardon offense. As they're just going to go under center here. Hand off to Bruce. Nowhere to go as the Tornado defense is there to meet him.
Big
Ethan
Treadell,
Reynolds.
I was to say, Big Treadell Graves just got thrown around by number 22 on that one. Leo Diamantopoulos. Power set here for the Hilltoppers. Two backs in the backfield, one blocking back here. Hand off, Columbia off the left side. And that defense right there to make the stop, just a 1 yard gain. So 3rd and long coming up.
Quick feed to Columbia. You thought he was going to have an open lane there as quick as he got to the gap. But Tiffin Columbian's pursuit to the ball. Man, what a nice tackle. Nice and low. Bring us up 3rd and 9, Nate.
That's right.
Well, Tornadoes got defense with a chance to show its mettle here. Test its mettle even more so. As Chardon goes under center once again. And he's going to keep it.
Francis stopped once again. Just a 2, maybe a 3 yard gain. It's going to bring up 4th down and long. 4th and about 6.
Well, do you see the leg here, or do you go for it with the free series here?
They got a heck of a kicker, but I don't know, Tommy. This might be decision time for Mitch Hewitt. They're going to keep the offense on the field.
I don't blame them, as once again, it's almost like a free series, a gifted offensive series for the Chardon Hilltoppers, as they just scored a few moments ago, and within a hiccup off the kick, got the ball back, and now has a chance to drive here with Tornado defense. Man.
4th and 7.
Making the Hilltoppers work for it here.
They bring a man in motion. They're trying to get the defense to jump, and I don't think they're going to, and it's going to get a timeout here. Yep. Mitch Hewitt takes a timeout as they were just trying to get the defense to jump, maybe pick up some free yards, but this is a disciplined defensive unit here for Tiffin Columbian.
That's what it comes down to in these closely contested contests is who's going to be able to keep their composure, who's going to remain calm in those big moments. As if you're the Tornado defense, you got your ears pinned back, ready to make a huge play, make a huge stop after Chardon continues to be within striking distance and take their first lead of the game.
Let's take a look at our senior spotlight here as we got another senior. Tonight is senior night here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium. As once again, there's a few more seniors. 18 seniors in total for this Tiffin Columbian unit. First home game of the year here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium.
Ooh, they look like they will kick.
I do believe so.
Go for the points here.
As they're going to be valuable. Sam Sokrich on to kick. What'll be a 28-yarder. Sokrich's kick is up, and it is no good! No good! Boy, he had enough leg to make that one from 40, but it just was not accurate.
Mamma mia.
Wow.
The turnover by the Tornadoes to start this drive. Started at Colombians 14. Unable to get points after the Tornado defense shored up and showed out. Wow, the missed field goal now.
You want to talk about a missed field goal. That was a missed opportunity for the Hilltoppers. Absolutely gifted the ball at the 15-yard line. And after 2 sustained drives where they had more than 10 plays on each drive, They couldn't even pick up 15 yards there, Tommy. That defense was up to the task.
We say gifted, but as if the Tornadoes weren't gifted a bad situation or a bad present like my Aunt Catherine on Christmas. Tornadoes, though, able to stand tall in the face of adversity. Greggy knows what I'm talking about. Stand tall in the face of adversity. Get the ball back.
There must be a chain issue here.
Go figure Bryce Riggs over there on the chain crew. Messing it up.
It's all his fault. It sure wouldn't be Carter's fault. Carter's on top of it. I know that. I know better.
Here we go.
And Mullins always are.
Handoff off the right side. Brockington cuts it back inside to the 23-yard line is where he'll be brought down. Actually, they'll mark him at the 24, so a 4-yard gain.
Say a lot of real estate for 4 yards. There's the pitch out to Brockington. This one has just been back and forth, Nate.
You telling me.
Chardon
Fireworks on display here.
But the thing that really speaks out to me, Chardon just can't get out of its own way.
Fake the handoff, sling it out right side. Gooding on the reception, and he's got a fresh set of downs. That'll move the chains.
Either that or the Tornadoes are just executing that well.
A little bit of both. I think a little bit of both. Ball at the 30-yard line. Offense quickly back up to the line. Inside of a minute 30 to play here in the first half, tied at 14. Rogo looking to the sideline. Bringing in a last-minute player here, as I think they were short a player, as Zach Shawberry checks into the game now. Shotgun set. Rogo slings it over the middle, complete. Jack Newlove at the 35, breaks a tackle, and stretches forward to the 39-yard line.
That time the zone coverage by the Hilltoppers. Rogo just able to find the soft spot. Now 2nd and 3. Under a minute to go here in the first half.
Sling it out left side, complete to Brockington to the 45 to the 50. Out of bounds, inside the 50-yard line, down to the 47-yard line. Nice catch and run by Damian Brockington, and more importantly, nice run after the catch to get out of bounds, save some clock.
Absolutely, as the Tornadoes and Hilltoppers, they've been playing a little bit of cat and mouse throughout the first 24 minutes, and you can't take those timeouts with you, but the Tornadoes down to their last timeout.
You see Coach Lutz telling his guys, stay back, no sideline warnings this week. Shotgun set, Rogo really takes the snap, ball. Looking left side, wide open, Corper, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Tiffin Columbian. A 47-yard touchdown bomb as Corper burns the defense for 6.
We talk about the instant offense and what the Tornadoes, again, look at this, Greg. Huge bomb to Corper, just out in open space. And we're talking the Tornadoes started this ball from the 20 after the missed field goal opportunity by Chardon. But the Tornadoes, with 50 seconds left here in the half, not settling for the field goal situation. They wanted 6, and they were able to do it there with that huge toss to Corper there.
Kerr, extra point up, off the upright, and no good, but a flag. Offsides again on the Hilltoppers. That's the second time on an extra point they've been offsides. I'm just going to replay it.
So you don't go half the distance. Do they mark it on the kickoff then? I don't know. We'll see.
No, they don't, because that's the opportunity to accept or decline there, and they declined. Kerr's extra point up, and it goes through. And so, given an extra chance at it, Liam Kerr says, I got this. Let me take this. Give me that one. Tornadoes back on top, 21-14.
I'm just gonna hand the keys over to Coach Lutz and the Rogo because again, I kept harping on the Tornadoes being able to put tremendous drives together, keeping Chardon off the field. But on the other side of that coin, you have that instant offense element that the Tornadoes are able to do, and you've seen it right there with that huge bomb to Corper. That's what
great play design there to be called. When
Yeah.
they had the receivers kind of crisscrossing, kind of got the defense confused there and got them wide open down the sideline. That's a great play to call right in that moment.
That's a good point. Nice comment by Ransom on YouTube there. They declined because you don't really want to be too close. You want to be, if they move it closer, then you got to get the ball up.
Yep.
So that's a good point. That's why we don't turn comments off. We just ban idiots. Hewitt picks it up off the ground to the 20, to the 22, and he's going to be brought down right at the 22-yard line. And a late flag flies in at the end of the play. I think it's going to be a sideline warning because you had guys on the field before the play was even over.
I was wondering if I can have my band lifted.
Yep, sideline warning against Tiffin Columbian.
Chardon, I mean,
No,
what is it?
blocking the back.
Yeah, wow.
Okay.
if you're Coach Hewitt, you want to leave this half in the locker room and almost come out with a completely different mindset.
Absolutely.
I don't know what the Hilltoppers
Well, they get the ball back coming out of halftime, so.
these self-inflicted wounds once again by the Hilltoppers. They're talented enough to get themselves out of these sticky situations and have kept this one close and manageable, and they're just going to
take a knee.
They're just going to take a knee.
I would just get out of the half.
Absolutely.
Get out of your own way.
All right, folks, we got the halftime show coming up next, brought to you by Buckeye IT Services. Make sure, if you're watching this video, please help us out. Share. Share on any social media you have, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, any of them. Share, please, help us out. It goes so far, and it helps us reach new audiences. Once again, 21-14 is your score. Tiffin Columbian leading Chardon at halftime. We'll take a step aside. We'll come back. We'll have a little bit of a breakdown, and then we'll get you to the field for the marching band performance here at halftime. And we'll be back about 5 minutes before the start of the second half. So we'll be right back after this. You're watching Heart of Ohio Sports.
You're watching high school football on Heart of Ohio Sports.
For high school students, this can be a fun time of year. Prom, graduation, summer vacations, etc. Sometimes students will attend parties that permit underage drinking.
There are serious legal consequences and liability issues for parents who serve alcohol to underage students. This could include fines, lawsuits, and even jail time.
Parents can be held responsible for underage drinking, even if they're not home when it happens. The best gift you can give your child is to be their parent, not their friend.
Don't be a party to teenage drinking. Parents who host lose the most.
Buckeye IT Services is a trusted partner for cybersecurity, fully managed and co-managed IT support. Municipalities, financial organizations, and mature businesses turn to them to eliminate IT stress and enable growth. Visit BuckeyeIT.com today to start your partnership. Make sure to check out this week's edition of the Heart of Ohio Sports Observer by Josh Morgret on heartofohiosports.com. UIS Insurance and Investments, your hometown agency providing a full range of insurance and financial services with a local touch. Contact your local homegrown agent Jeff Leopold for a professional review today at 419-447-4242, extension 1144.
We connect fans to the action like no one else can. As a business in today's market, you got to stay ahead of the game. And what better way than to get on board with the fastest growing brand in media today? I mean, you can take it from me, or you can just listen to them.
When recruiters want to see our game film, we tell them they can watch it on Heart of Ohio Sports.
It's time for high school football on Heart of Ohio Sports.
All right, and we're back here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium. We are just about ready to send it down to the field for the halftime performance. But before we do that, we'll just break this one down very shortly. It's 21-14 Tiffin Columbian. And, folks, we want to take a moment and thank all of our sponsors for allowing us to be here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Thanks to your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Buckeye IT Services, XCARET Mexican Restaurant, Hope in Fostoria, First National Bank of Sycamore, UIS Insurance and Investments, STEINMETZ Signs and Graphic Inc., Lee's Floor Covering, Little HUGO'S, 5-Star Maintenance, DAH Wraps, CLOUSE Electric, FEASEL'S Frame and Collision, WEBSTER Industries, Burns Electric, Circle H Tire, BENCHWARMERS Restaurant and Delivery, SARA REISEN Century 21 BOLTE in Tiffin, and Pit Stop. All proud sponsors with us here on Heart of Ohio Sports. You're tuned into the Buckeye IT halftime show. We're going to send it down to the field. You'll catch the marching band performances as right now, Chardon, their Hilltopper band, on the field. And we're going to step aside. We'll be back with about 5 minutes to go until the start of the second half. Once again, you're tuned in to the Buckeye IT halftime show on Heart of Ohio Sports.
Shines the spotlight on our featured twirler, Savannah Flesher, and includes a drum break composed by our drumline leaders. You just gotta ignite the light and let it shine. Just own the night like the 4th of July. Baby, you're a firework. Come on, show them what you're worth.
Marching 120, the Tiffin Columbian Band, Flag Dance, and Majorette Squad. Our band is under the direction of Mr. Michael Meadows with Assistant Director Mr. Trenton Thacker. Our flag and dance squad are under the direction of Mrs. Danielle Cluse, assisted by Brooke Weiss and Katie Gillig. Tonight we also welcome a new staff member, Mrs. Casey Kilrani, as our majorette coach for this year. We begin this evening with a drill to a combination of two hits by Bon Jovi, entitled The Bon Jovi Jam. It combines the 1986 Hilltop 100 #1 hit from their album Slippery When Wet, Living on a Prayer with the 2000 hit from the album Crush. Watch, listen as our marching band drills to My Life is My Life. Perennial favorite of the band. We learned to get dizzy and to find our left or our right. Here it is. We got the beat. Now tonight, we've got a sing-along. You know the simple words, na 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 na, the chorus. So, join the band as they play Wilson Pickett's Land of 1,000 Dances. Even though we're on the edge of the Sandusky River, not the Olentangy in Columbus, we rock out to Hang On Sloopy. Take it away, drumline. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the Tiffin Columbian Marching Band, Flag and Neighborhood Squad, and our alumni band. And we thank tonight our band sponsors, Winway, Tiffin Tape Company, Vintage Water, Sporting Music, and River Raft Jeffco. We love TC Band.
All right, and we're back. Welcome back to the Buckeye IT Services halftime show. Nate Mullins and Tommy Hall on the call with you up here in the Frost-Kalnow press box. Greg Kinn, the Wizard, on the ones and twos. We have Austin Rodriguez and Zach Blythe on the camera tonight. And Eric Hall is our sideline reporter. Once again, we're here at halftime. Your score 21-14. Tiffin Columbian leading Chardon here at halftime. And Tommy, it's been it's been an interesting first half, to say the least. These Hilltoppers have come to play, but so have these Tornadoes. They said, hey, we're game. We're ready. We're a lot more ready this time than we were last time. We've got some. We got an idea of how you guys want to attack us, and it just seems like it's a whole different ball game now as we go into the second half. A 7-point lead for Colombian, but with the way this Hilltoppers team has been running the ball and getting after it offensively, I mean, that's probably going to be a short-lived lead if this Hilltoppers offense has anything to say about it.
Yeah, you can never count out this Hilltoppers squad as coming into tonight. Once again, we talked about you're going to have all the little things go right, and Tiffin Columbian always harks on. I witnessed it myself during the coach's corner with Coach Judd Lutz. You do all the little things right. Do the little things right, and the big things will happen. Tiffin Columbian thus far has been able to do the little things right and answer when they needed to, as this has really been Chardon's game to lose.
Yeah.
They came into tonight. They were able to they found themselves behind the 8-ball early as Tiffin Columbian capitalized off of a huge pick 6 by Brady Gooding that put the Tornadoes on top. Then shortly after that, the Chardon Hilltoppers, they were able to march for a 74-yard drive for a touchdown score, and it looked seamless. But then after that, a little bit of signs of unraveling by the Hilltoppers. We talked about the high snap, the little mental miscues that put Chardon in bad situations where they had to turn the ball over via punt. And Tiffin Columbian being able to capitalize on those mistakes and be able to now keep that lead, as Chardon had their chance to take the lead earlier and elected to go for the points, missed on a field goal, and here we are, 21-14 as Tiffin Columbian, huge bomb before we went to half with a Jack Corper 47-yard touchdown reception, put us 21-14 here at the half from Frost-Kalnow.
And it's nice to see Corper get back into the scoring column, as last year, I believe he had double-digit touchdowns last year for this Tornadoes team, so always nice to see him get back into the end zone. But once again, your score 21-14 as we're getting ready to start the second half. Let's take a moment and thank all of our sponsors for allowing us to be here. Folks, when you hear these names, frequent these sponsors, because thanks to them, we're here.
Live and paywall free, pal.
That's right. Thank you to your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Buckeye IT Services, XCARET Mexican Restaurant, Hope in Fostoria, First National Bank of Sycamore, UIS Insurance and Investments, STEINMETZ Signs and Graphic Inc., Lease Floor Covering, Little HUGO'S, 5-Star Maintenance, DAH Wraps, CLOUSE Electric, FEASEL'S Frame and Collision, WEBSTER Industries, Burns Electric, Circle H Tire, BENCHWARMERS Restaurant and Delivery, SARA REISEN, Century 21 BOLTE in Tiffin, and Pit Stop. All proud sponsors with us here on Heart of Ohio Sports. We are just about set for the start of the second half. And before we get there, let's take a look around the area at our First National Bank of Sycamore scoreboard as we take a look at all the scores from around the area. As Bellevue playing Wauseon, leading them 14-3 at half. Gibsonburg on top of Seneca East, 6-0 in the third quarter. Norwalk trailing North, 14-0. Calvert, you can find that game over on the X stream on YouTube, leading Monroeville 21-7 at halftime. Clyde on top of Toledo Start, 17-0. Lakota on top of Arcadia, 28-0. That game's at halftime. And Perkins all over Elyria Catholic, 49-13. Good Lord.
And Perkins been dispatching them this year.
Kickoff is away, fielded at the 13-yard line by the return man, to the 20, to the 25, to the 30, finds a lane to the outside, and he runs it out of bounds near the 40-yard line. That was a very nice return. I didn't get the number on the return man there, but as we take a look around, we keep looking around the area at the First National Bank of Sycamore scoreboard. Gibsonburg has added to their lead, 12-0 on Seneca East now. It's tied between Cary and Galleon, 14 apiece. Port Clinton leading Rossford, 38-21 at half.
Under center to start this drive for the Hilltoppers.
Handoff off the right side. Running back carries it forward.
Still on his feet.
And he picks up the first down.
Now into tornado territory are the Hilltoppers on the opening drive here in the second half from Frost-Kalnow Stadium. 11-yard gain by the Hilltoppers.
Ball at the 48 inside tornado territory.
Now in the gun.
Francis keeps it off the right side. He's got running room to the 30, 25 to the 20, cuts back 15, 10, 5, and touchdown, Hilltoppers.
And in quick fashion, the short memory of the Hilltoppers left that first half in the locker room, came out on fire here to start the second half, and now have a chance to close in on tying this one, as now Tiffin leads 21-20, but Chardon answers right off the rip, as you see there on the replay.
Newlove he was the last one there to make the play, but Francis put a nice move on him there at the end of the run to spring him for the touchdown.
Lighten up Francis as Francis lights up the Tornadoes for 6 on that one.
Sam Sakrich. Extra point attempt is up, and it's through, and the game is tied at 21 apiece. $21 apiece between these two teams. They just keep trading blows here. And this is going to be a back-and-forth matchup all night long. Two powerhouse teams doing battle here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium. These Hilltoppers, boy, they came to play today.
Yeah, week 2, and probably one of the toughest and strongest non-conference Colombian schedules to date, at least in my 12 or 13 years of covering Tiffin Columbian high school sports. Nate, this is a tall task.
Yeah.
And this is definitely, you played 24 minutes. You were able to win that first 24. Now if you're the Tiffin Columbian Tornadoes, keep going out and executing. You don't want this one to turn into a shootout, but, you keep pace.
That's right.
Dictate the pace. Control the tempo. Man, what a tempo set by the Hilltoppers to start this second half. 11:37 remaining here in the third quarter, as in quick fashion, the Hilltoppers able to find pay dirt.
Will Francis.
Look at that pooch kick to the uncovered part of the field.
Once again, this kicking game is trying to exploit the holes in the Tiffin Columbian coverage or the return unit, because that's the second time they've kicked the ball where nobody is.
And you're seeing a strong return by Brockington to start this one and try to set the tone.
Good point.
For this game. And the Hilltoppers, they became aware of that pretty quick and have really shied away from that. Tornadoes are going to come out in the gun here.
Rogo slings it out right side for Corper, but hang on.
I think it's going to be a false start.
Should be a false start on the offense.
Looks like somebody moved too early.
So that'll back the offense up to the 25.
Chardon starts this second half in quick fashion with fireworks on the board, and now the Tornadoes kind of fizzling out here to start the first half, first play out the gate. Called dead, moves him back to 5 yards. First and 15 from the 25.
Shotgun set, 2 receivers on the near side, 1 on the far side of the field, 1 man in the backfield. Wing back on the left side, that's Talib Al-Zaquani. Handoff, no fake the handoff, sling it over the middle for Corper. It's intercepted, picked off by the defense.
Oh, man.
Kenny Fryhoff with the interception, and that was off the hands of Jack Corper, who had his hands on it but just unable to come up with the play.
Chardon.
Rogo had a good read there, but I think Corper was thinking about what he's going to do after the catch.
Bounced right out of his hands. Wow, there it was.
Well, it was going to start off with a quick screen. See the Tornadoes come out in the exact same formation. Those defensive backs already had that read. Try to find Corper over the middle. It bounces out into the hands of the defender. And now the Chardon Hilltoppers, once again, they ran into the first half, into the locker room, trying not to get any more on them. And now Tiffin Columbian kind of getting some of that bad juju on their side.
Hewitt, ball carrier off the right side.
There's
nothing doing there.
Some laundry there about around 22.
What's the flag here?
It looks like he might have said a hold.
Holding on the Hilltoppers. And as you know, Tommy, they can call holding on just about any play. You know, it's just the discretion of the referee or where his eyes are, really. It's not the discretion. It's where his eyes are. And his eyes just happen to be seeing something that he didn't like, so he threw the flag.
And every once in a while, you got to have teams that are the bad boys.
That's right. Shotgun set, man in motion. Francis looking to pass. Now he's going to keep it and run with it.
In the world.
Off the right side, and he's going to be brought down right about the 25-yard line, maybe the 26.
Does a great job of picking up the block in the middle there. He had
Yeah.
a defender just crashing down on him.
And a nice job there by Francis to just kind of read the defense and say, nothing's there. I'm just going to take it.
We keep talking about those Aunt Catherine Christmas gifts. I mean, it could be worse as the 2nd and 13 here. Not the present that Chardon wants, but definitely manageable for this high-powered offense.
Keeping himself here.
Right up the middle.
And down inside the 15 to the 13-yard line.
I told you. 2nd and 13. These guys, these Hilltoppers, they make it look easy.
That was the quarterback on the keeper there. 3rd and 2 coming up for the Hilltoppers.
That's been
and this is the time in the game where they start giving you those deception plays. Where, hey, we showed you this look in the first half, but this is what we're going to do now. It's different. Francis in the shotgun, man in motion. They're going to fake it.
Once again.
Francis keeps it. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Hilltoppers.
The Tornado and the Hilltoppers once again able to just tuck it, keep it as Francis finds his way down field for the score. And there's going to be quick 13 unanswered there by the Hilltoppers in quick fashion just within the first 2 minutes of this second half. As you see right there, the tuck and run job.
And all the blocks. Sealing the lane up there for him.
Well, you're not going to see Chardon shy away from that until that read is met, till it's,
Well, that's the key.
Till that adjustment's made.
They just keep going back to the well because it's there. And the kick is up and it's through. And the Hilltoppers, after trailing by 7 to start the second half, they now lead by 7.
Finally find
just 2 minutes and 6 seconds into the second half. The first lead of the game for Chardon.
Again, Chardon wasn't going to do you any favors. They were going to give you everything they got and then some, so you couldn't make those mistakes. You can't come out here in the second half and unravel. Colombian now with the 14 unanswered have to make something happen offensively. But turnover on the Tornadoes' last drive resulted in 7 points for Chardon. Now Chardon takes their first lead, 28-21, 9:54 here in the third quarter from Frost-Kalnow Stadium.
Chardon's definitely one of those teams that you can't make those kind of mistakes against.
That's right.
You see it right there. Why?
You can't get enough high school football action. Don't forget, on the X stream right now, Calvert taking on Monroeville as the Wizard, doing a tremendous job this week getting those games ready for your viewing pleasure. Live and paywall free. Can't thank you enough, Greg, for, again, taking that on. But you're watching the adrenaline stream right here for Chardon versus Tiffin Columbian. Another high kick.
Once again, a squib kick, and it's fielded by the return man at the 34.
Great job of bringing that one in there.
And that's just, come on now. Let the guy get off the sideline. Why y'all got a crowd around him like that? I just don't like that. I don't like seeing one guy in a swarm of red helmets and everybody's just surrounding him like that. Like, just let the guy go. Let him get off the sideline.
You might want to keep your words soft and sweet because you may have to eat them later. But the Tornadoes now have been punched in the mouth coming out here to start this third quarter of action. 14 unanswered. See what the Tornadoes can do with it as they start this one from the 35.
Rogo brings a man in motion. That's Rogo. Settles onto the right side. Hand off to Brockington. Brockington breaks a couple of tackles and up to the 40-yard line. And Tommy, conspicuous by his absence, we really haven't seen him carry the ball a whole lot since the first quarter. And he's been really effective on the ground here today. So I hope we see a lot more of this young man in the second half here.
Well, the Tornadoes have found some success through the air and have taken their chances when those opportunities have arrived. And so you haven't really got to see much of Brockington that you'd like.
Press coverage on the outside. Rogo slings it out right, completes it to Alzaquani, who cuts it out to the outside, and he's got it out past the 40 to about the 41-yard line, but not a whole lot of running room for Talib Alzaquani as the defense was right there. They strung that one out wide, and he really didn't have a whole lot of running room. Third down and 4 coming up. Third and 4. Rogo fakes the handoff, looking, slings it. He's got a man down the middle of the field. Gooding at the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Tiffin Columbian. Brady Gooding once again burns the Hilltopper defense. And they are just sleeping in the secondary tonight.
Well, that's the thing, Nate, is again, you give a dose of that heavy run. You kind of do the 1-2 punch with the screen. But then you take those shots to the air, and they keep finding themselves in a situation where you got a guy like BG3 that makes a huge tutty reception to now put the Tornadoes within an extra point here to score to tie this one up. And this one's it just seems like it's going to take all 48 minutes.
That's
Nate.
Exactly what it seems like right now.
These two squads, I tell you what. Yeah, that's good.
And it knocks it through, and we are tied at 28 apiece. Now, if you're Tiffin Columbian, this defense has got to answer the call here. You need a stop. You got to have a stop, and you've got to be able to read your keys with this quarterback because he is just reading. He's reading that defensive line is what he's doing. He's reading that defensive end. If he's collapsing, he keeps it. I mean, it's just sometimes it's not that. I'm not even going to.
I tell you
what.
This
is a dogfight between these two teams right now, man. Whew. What a ball game.
The only way to stop a juggernaut is to slow its momentum down. And we seen that in the first half as the Chardon train seemingly started to come off the tracks a little bit, had a tough time getting going. But, man, they came out of the gate here in the second half, punched Tiffin Columbian in the mouth. And now the Tiffin Columbian Tornadoes, after that score, looking to set up a roadblock here. And we'll see if the Chardon Hilltoppers can smash through that. 8:23 remaining here in the third quarter of action. Tiffin Columbian, we're all tied up 0-0 here at Frost-Kalnow.
We're not even halfway through the third yet.
What a ball game. And Kerr kicks this one off over the head of the return man into the end zone for a touchback. So he says, I don't need to kick it where you guys aren't. I just need to kick it through the end zone because then you can't do anything with it. Rather than trying to trick you, I just kick it over you. Well, but I tell you, that TC return unit, there's been a couple times when that kicker has just been smart enough to find that hole.
And here's the deal. I mean, you get excited with Tiffin Columbian, bringing the paddles out to themselves in the second half, able to get the score and knot it back up. But we reset the table here, folks. It's 0-0 here. Chardon's got the ball with a clean opening drive here. I mean, like we talked about. Let's see what the Chardon Hilltoppers bring to the table on this drive.
Francis is going to keep it off the right side, and he's going to be brought down about the 25-yard line after about a 5-yard gain.
And that option keeper has just been the kryptonite.
I'll tell you, this kid, 5'9", 160 pounds, is tougher than a $2 steak, Tommy.
Oh, absolutely.
He's taken countless hits. And, I mean, he'll take a hit and then another hit as he's going down, and the kid pops up. We got an injury on the field. We'll keep it right here. 8:10 left to play here in the third quarter. We are tied at 28 apiece. Let's take this moment and thank our sponsors, but we'll start out with talking about one of our presenting sponsors. Buckeye IT Services is a trusted partner for IT solutions in Northwest Ohio, serving customers with commercial, residential, and municipal needs. They start by building a relationship with you and your company. At Buckeye IT Services, they want to know your pain points with technology and what you need to help your business succeed. They work with you to tailor a solution of best practices and new state-of-the-art equipment to eliminate IT pain for your business. Visit BuckeyeIT.com to schedule your initial consultation today. I want to thank all of our sponsors today, including your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Buckeye IT, XCARET Mexican Restaurant, Hope in Fostoria, First National Bank of Sycamore, UIS Insurance and Investments, STEINMETZ Signs and Graphic Inc., Lee's Floor Covering, Little HUGO'S, 5-Star Maintenance, DAH Wraps, CLOUSE Electric, FEASEL'S Frame and Collision, Webster Industries, Burns Electric, Circle H Tire, Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery, SARA REISEN Century 21 BOLTE in Tiffin, and Pit Stop. All proud sponsors with us here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Hilltoppers, 2nd and 5.
Keeps it.
Fake the handoff. Francis going to keep it himself off the left side. He's got plenty of room to the 50, 45 to the 40, cuts it back to the 30. He's cut down from behind by Brockington at the 20-yard line.
And you love the pickup blocks on the outside, turning the defenders out. A 56-yard quarterback keeper. Once again, the Tornadoes have no answer as the Hilltoppers set up shop.
Why would you want to call a high schooler a felon? I don't understand that. Like,
he said he's so good it should be illegal.
No, that's not. No, he's a high school kid. Don't call him a felon. Don't start that. I'm sorry, that's just not cool. I'm sure he's an outstanding young man. He doesn't need to be deserved to be called a felon. Handoff. Columbia off the left side. And he's got it up to about the 16-yard line. Big bruising fullback there. Vinny Columbi. 5'10", 193 junior.
Braden Hobble, big 56, makes a huge stop there defensively. But Chardon continuing to roll. That's every time they've touched the ball here in the second half, they put points on the board.
Francis in the shotgun all by himself. Motion man. Fakes it to the motion man, keeps it himself, and carries it forward. Has close to the first down. Down to about the 11. No, they'll mark him at the 12. Maybe about the 12 and a half. So he's going to be just shy of the first down by about 1.5 yards, maybe 2 yards short.
Yeah, another Tornado down.
I keep thinking the same thing, Mike. I'm like, I don't know how many hits that kid can take and just keep popping right back up. I mean, such a small frame for a kid, 5'9", 160 pounds. You don't see very many kids that small carrying the ball that many times and just, I mean, tough. You want to talk about tough? Yeah. Let's take a look at another one of our senior spotlights here. As once again, it is senior night here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium. Big group of seniors this year and a lot of big names for you Tiffin Columbian faithful.
Well, don't forget, as you see the big hits here tonight, got some more big hits coming at you tomorrow night as Heart of Ohio Sports brings you BCM Promotions.
That's right.
Fight Night 14. Live from Fairhaven Hall.
I'd say Will Francis is probably the second best running back on the field right now.
Oh, absolutely. The way his decision-making as a quarterback, again, he don't give it much thought. He just does what comes naturally. His resolve, he goes off the gut instinct. Just a playmaker in every aspect of the word.
And now you got him under center here. Let's see what the play call is. Handoff off the right side. Hewitt, the ball carrier, and
finds the pylon.
He is just short of the end zone. They'll mark him down at the 1.
Another fresh set of downs, though, for the Hilltoppers with a chance to finish the drive and take back the lead once again as we've been trading scores here in the second half. 14 unanswered to start here by the Hilltoppers. Colombian answered to tie it up, and now Chardon started this drive from the 20.
This is where their strength comes in here, Tommy. Look at this, all bunched up, scrunched up behind, underneath the center. Quarterback takes the ball, hands it off, and that is just absolutely butter. They just split that like butter right there.
Oh, absolutely. As the Hilltoppers now open the gates, open the floodgates now, put another touchdown on the board. 3 touchdowns within the last 6 minutes here in the third quarter. Tiffin Columbian finding themselves in the shootout here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium, and as like we talked about against these high caliber teams, you don't want it to turn into that.
That's right.
You got to get a stop. You got to be able to take the momentum back.
And Sakarich knocks it through once again. 5 for 5 on extra points tonight is Sam Sakarich, and both these kickers have been absolutely impeccable.
And it's been the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. It really has.
That's what's kept this one where we're at here. 35-28, 6 minutes here in the third quarter as this second half. We talked about the pace of the first half. Slow, methodical, a little bit of self-inflicted wounds by both teams, finding out who was going to capitalize. Colombian won that first half as Chardon forced to go into the half down a score. But in quick fashion here in the second.
These Hilltoppers have had a lot of success running to the outside, Tommy. It just seems like Tiffin Columbian's had a hard time really setting the edge here today. And I just feel like, if they can figure out some way to set the edge and get those guys coming back inside as opposed to letting them get the edge like that, maybe they might have a little bit more success slowing this run game down. Because, in the middle, Chardon really hasn't had a whole lot of success when they run up the middle. They have to get every lineman they have on the line in order to be able to run for those couple yards up the middle that they need. And they've been able to get those yards. Trust me, whenever they need them, they've gotten them. But my point is, if you can get them to stay inside the tackles, this one's going to go all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Brockington was watching it.
That was a heads-up play.
Yeah, that's a scary-looking one there.
Well, that's a good point, Nate. This offensive line by Chardon has been nothing short but miraculous in their ability to kind of go out in those outside zone steps and turn the defenders back inside. But what really surprises me is when the edge hasn't been there, the ability by the quarterback to turn it up inside where normally an open lane wouldn't be. It's all about getting to that second level.
For those of you tuned in trying to find the Calvert game, we are having some difficulties with the internet over there at Monroeville. Marshfield is not the friendliest environment for internet, so bear with us. We're trying our best to make sure we have the broadcast. Nevertheless, we'll do our best to get it to you. Sling it out right side. Bryce Rogo on the reception, and he's got it up near the 30-yard line, down to about the 28. Well, he had to sidearm that one to get that in there, Tommy, because the defender was right there in his face.
Well, a lot of the film this week on the Chardon side of things kind of revolved around that Brogo connection, the Rogo to Rogo connection, and it's been almost obsolete here in this one.
Last week, 5 catches, 2 touchdowns, 80 yards in the air. Reverse action here, and some trickery involved by the Tornadoes.
Oh, look at that, stop.
Deception. Tornadoes say turnabout's fair game. We'll have a little deception for you as well.
Well, Austin Green saved that one from turning into a huge, huge play. But the Tornadoes now move the chains. Rogo in the gun. He's got Brockington on his left hip.
Hand off to Brockington. Up the middle to about the 40. Good for 3 yards. Sets him up with a 2nd and 7. 5:15 left to play in the third quarter. Boy, this third quarter has been a back-and-forth slugfest here so far.
4 scores, and not 7 years ago, but 4 scores just here in the first, 7 minutes.
Rogo in the shotgun. 2 receivers on the left, 1 on the right. Brockington in the backfield with him. Rogo takes the snap. Rolls to his left, pressure, steps up, big play. Rogo ends up keeping it and gets it back to the line. But a flag comes in at the end of the play because I'll tell you, Tommy, they've been doing this all game long. The last guy to hit him dives on top of the pile, and that's been happening all game. I've been waiting for him to call it.
That Chardon defense right here. That's one of the angriest hits I've ever seen.
And they keep doing it. It's happened all game. 19, I see him do it a lot. He'll come in flying at the last second and hit somebody on the ground. It's like, you know what? Just, you got the play. You made the play. Let it happen.
Yeah, and
what a play by Rogo to get out of that sack, Tommy. How did he escape the pressure?
The angriest hit I've seen since Oliver Anthony yelled at a fudge round.
Stop. Love it. 1st and 10. Brockington on the pitch out to the outside.
Finds the edge.
Splits a couple of defenders and carries it up to about the 41-yard line. They'll mark him at the 42, so 3-yard gain there, 2nd and 7.
Impressive stop there by the defense.
Yeah.
Brockington is not
Big
an
time.
easy one to stop when he's got his momentum going like that.
Now the Tornadoes got the ball on the other side of the field. Chance to finish this drive.
2nd and 7. Shotgun set. Rogo. Bad snap, has to get rid of it, gets it out to Rogo, and it's complete and up to about the 41-yard line. How they were able to make something happen there, I have no idea, because the offensive line was not ready. The center snapped it before anybody was ready, and it just kind of rolled to the quarterback. He's lucky, not only that he grabbed it, but then got it away. Wow.
Look at the playmaking ability by Rogo here.
Shotgun set, Rogo looking, slings it. He's got a man down the left sideline. He got the play. Brady Gooding, touchdown, Tiffin Columbian. Once again, BG3 burns the defense.
The one-on-one situation, that scenario has found itself all day as both these squads continue to answer each other's scores by the Achilles heel that they're finding in the defense. Look at this.
Big time throw
by the defense, just beats the coverage.
And look, the defender's hand is right there.
Yeah.
What a play by Brady Gooding, and what a throw by Braden Rogo.
And that's the thing, though. Again, you got a chance to answer that, tie this one back up. But until you find an option, until you find an answer for Chardon's option keeper, this is just going to be one of these situations where you're going to have to rely. Whoa!
Offsides again. That young man cannot. He's trying to time up that snap count every time.
And that's the reason you wanted to draw them offside, so you have a chance to drop a play to take the lead.
That's the third time that's happened. How can they? They're going to go for it. Oh, wow. They're going for
Big
2.
Chance to go for 2 and take the lead.
Big time play right here. As Colombian takes the penalty, decides, hey, you know what?
Think that was purposely
if you're gonna keep jumping off sides, we'll take those yards and let's get these 2 points.
Get yourself within a cat's breath away from being able to take the lead on a huge 2-point conversion. We'll see here.
Brockington in a little bit of a wildcat look here.
Oh no,
False start.
Wow.
And now you got to kick it. Yep. Now you got to kick it. And they try to get Brockington in that wildcat look.
All your chips on the table and one in the seat. And on that situation.
Let's check in with our sideline reporter, Eric Hall.
You got to fold.
As he was right there for that one. Man, talk about frustration. What happened on that play?
Lines up to kick the extra point. I don't know, man. They got a little jumpy. Got excited. They wanted to take the lead in this game. But they're going to settle for 1 here now.
I tell you, that intensity on this sideline, when they went for 2, when they decided they were going to go for 2, everybody down there was just, they were jumping around ready for it, man.
It's been wild down here, man. They're loving it.
Well, now a chance to tie it here.
Extra point attempt. Snap is down, ball is up, and it's blocked. The extra point is blocked.
Big bear paws up in the sky.
And it's still a 1-point ball game.
So a chance to take the 1-point lead. False start takes that off the table for the Tornadoes. Forced into the kicking situation to tie it. And after the missed PAT, now you find yourself down 1 against Chardon, 35-34.
Well, now it's not so much of a back and forth. Now you have to come up with a stop. There's no more, hey, we can get it back. Now you got to get a stop here. And I think Chardon understands what Colombian's trying to do to stop them, and they have adjusted. Their second half play calls have been on point. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. So you've got to come up with an answer here. If you're Tiffin Columbian, this is big time right here. Take a look around the area at our First National Bank of Sycamore scoreboard. As right now, Fremont Ross leading Sandusky 21-7 in the fourth quarter. Bellevue leading Wauseon 26-3 in the third quarter. And the kick is away. Liam Kerr gets it away, fielded at the 11-yard line by Bruce. Brings it back to the 30, and he's going to be cut down right at the 35-yard line.
But there's going to be a little bit of laundry there, Nate.
And I think that's going to be a block on, it's going to be a block on the back, I think, on the Hilltoppers. As we keep going around the First National Bank of Sycamore scoreboard, Gibsonburg leading Seneca East 12-0. That's in the fourth quarter. Galleon now on top of Cary, 21-14. The Blue Devils in danger of falling to 0-2 on the season. Norwalk trailing North 28-0. Perkins on top of Elyria Catholic, 62-13. Hopewell Loudon leading Mohawk 26-7. That game is in the fourth quarter. Calvert and Monroeville now just a 1-touchdown game, 21-14 in the third quarter. Lakota leading Arcadia 31-7. Clyde leading Toledo Start 31-12. And Port Clinton leading Rossford 38-21. That's in the third quarter. I saw your hands go up, Austin.
Well, if you're the Tornado defense, you got Chardon pinned on the 18 here to start this drive.
Handoff off the left side. Trying to find some running room, but not a whole lot doing there. They did pick up about 5, maybe 6 yards.
They just do a really good
consistent
job of stretching out to the outside and then getting the blocks that they need to find the lanes.
Absolutely.
And then you also have to commit to the pursuit there.
Yeah.
And where you're trying to defend, but at the same time, you're remaining humble to account for the option read there. There's a danged if you do, danged if you don't situation. Trying to get you to overcommit to that.
Francis going to keep it off the left side. He's got some running room.
So quick.
Breaks another tackle to the 40, 35 to the 30, and he's going to be brought down behind by Talib Al-Zaquani. Ball comes out. Hang on, what's the call? They're going to say he was down on the play. And I tell you, Francis goes down on the play, and he took a hit at the end of this.
Brockerton able to knock it out there. Let's see. Was Francis' knee down, though, by the time he popped?
Oh, that ball came out before he was down.
It looked like he kind of like he fell on the ball.
Yeah.
What a huge.
All right. That's a big break.
Huge gain by the Hilltoppers there to flip the field now as this drive started on the 18, and now they'll take over. They'll run their next play from the other side, the 18 marching.
Francis, broken play. He's going to keep it, and he's going to be slung down in the backfield. Maximus Fortney says, get back.
And the Tornadoes trying real hard there to get that ball. You see that?
That's what you got to do here. First man there, wrap him up. Second man there, go for the ball. 2nd and 8 coming up. And the quarterback he's going to come off the field here. Francis, like I said, after that long run, Al-Zaquani literally fell on top of him and put all of his body weight on top of him.
He also fell on that football, and that's one of the most.
And a huge run.
Yeah.
You got to be out of breath already.
And a Wildcat offense is set up, but Coach Mitch Hewitt decided, hey, let's take a timeout. Let me give my quarterback a little breather here, and maybe we'll bring him in for this next play here. So 2nd and 8 from the 16-yard line. 1:09 left here in the third quarter. Let's take a moment and talk about our post-game show sponsor, Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. They've been a part of this community for 70 years. They're a member-driven financial cooperative and delighted to provide a personal touch to an often impersonal industry with a focus on respect and member satisfaction while caring for your financial needs. Stop in at Your Legacy, located at 25 Schaefer Park Drive in Tiffin. Your community, your legacy. Federally insured NCUA. Hilltoppers will have it at the 16-yard line. 2nd and 8 coming up. They lead by 1. Seneca's put another score on the board. They lead 28-14 over Monroeville. Once again, you can find that game over on the X stream. Eric even said from down on the sideline, he said, hey, did you get that on replay? It was coming out. And I completely agree with you, Eric. I watched the replay. It looked like he was definitely, the ball was coming out on the way down before the knee was down. But no replay in high school. Handoff, Hewitt off the right side, plenty of blockers. Man, they talk about sealing the edge.
Nice.
Wow.
Huge score by the Hilltoppers, who just.
And there's nobody there on the outside every time.
Perfectly designed play, perfectly executed.
Man.
Hat on a hat. You see it right here, folks. Chardon. He on the handoff.
Look at them blocks sealing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's nobody out there.
Do it. You can do it as he finds the edge.
You
and
don't.
in for the score.
You don't always have to line up to what they are lining up to. You know. Like if they show you a look, you don't have to match that look. You can still keep your guys out wide to keep that edge. I feel like every time there's nobody on that left side, they collapse too far in, and there's nobody on the edge to get that play. And they're not passing it, so why keep the DBs back?
Chance to go up 3.
Handoff off the right side.
There's a flag.
Flag on the play. Laundry comes flying in from the line judge here, and we'll see what the call is.
There's definitely some extracurriculars down there. As you watch this one clean up there. Yep.
Blocking the back on the offense. So now they're going to bring the kicking unit out to kick the extra point here.
Well, we keep harping on the little things. That little thing that just happened for Colombian, forcing Chardon to try for the PAT. You get another bite at the apple here.
Keeps it a one-score game.
Keep it a one-score game. But that kick is up, and that's going to be there
Man,
all
that
day.
kid. Woo, he's got a leg. Let me tell you, Sam Sakrich now 6 for 6 on extra point attempts tonight.
And it's been a slugfest.
Absolutely.
Right here at Frost-Kalnow. Slobber knocker if I've ever seen one. As you're watching this non-conference matchup between the Tiffin Columbian Tornadoes against the Chardon Hilltoppers, who make the long trek over to Tiffin Columbian in what definitely is a litmus test to that has postseason implications on it, Nate.
Absolutely.
As you got to believe whoever comes out on top of this one expected to make a big run, and that's why Coach Judd Lutz scheduled this game. Not a lot of people wanting to take on the unenviable task of playing the Tiffin Columbian Tornadoes, so Coach Judd Lutz and these relationships he's formed with top programs around the state.
Yeah.
This is the type of schedule Coach Lutz wants.
Absolutely.
D-test here on Friday night.
And that one's going to go out of bounds as the first infraction against this young kicker of the game. Young man has had a stellar game so far for the Hilltoppers.
Thus far, the Hilltoppers have done a tremendous job on special teams. They've been doing everything in phases there on the offense and the defense. Again, the defense on both sides have been keeping both these teams in it, as this one's turned into a little bit of a shootout.
Every drive in this third quarter has went for a touchdown, except for one by the Tornadoes, the 3-and-out at the beginning of the drive.
They're going to bring the house here.
Rockington on the carry, and he's going to be stood up right at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. No gain on the play.
Try to draw the defense with the hard count. They show you their hand, and they still, Tiffin Columbian just into Brockington, even with the blitzing front. Back on the ball now. Around 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter of action.
2nd and 10. Ball at the 35-yard line. Rogo takes the snap. Looking, over the middle, has a man. It's complete. He's got Corper at the 45-yard line. First down, Tiffin Columbian. That's another fresh set of downs and a UIS Insurance and Investments first down.
The way that this TC squad has challenged the secondary to allow themselves to keep in this. Look at this. Rogo finds Corper right over the middle there. Sliding catch.
What a catch by Jack Corper.
Probably take us to the end of the third quarter, Nate.
That will be the final play of the third quarter. Your score, Chardon 42, Tiffin 34. We'll step aside, take a timeout. We'll be back with the exciting conclusion of this ball game here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Keep it locked in. You're watching Heart of Ohio Sports.
Legacy Federal Credit Union, your premier financial institution in Seneca County since 1952. Your community, your legacy. Federally insured NCUA.
You're locked into the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Heart of Ohio Sports.
All right, and we're back here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Nate Mullins and Tommy Hall on the call with you. Greg the Wizard Kinn on the ones and twos, keeping us live. Austin Rodriguez and Zach Blythe on the camera tonight. And, of course, Eric Hall down on the sidelines. Thanks for tuning in here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Colombian trailing Chardon as we start the fourth quarter. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Hand off to Gooding on the motion, and he's going to be swallowed up in the backfield. A 1-yard loss on the play.
Sniffed out from Jump Street. Was the Hilltoppers on that play?
That was a slow developing play there. It just never really came to fruition.
That read in the secondary, too. Not fooling the defense. As 2nd and 11 now.
Rogo in the shotgun. 2 receivers on the far side, 1 on the near side. Rogo takes the snap. Loads it up for a screen over the middle, and nobody there. Oh, actually, Brockington was there, but
he slipped up a little bit on
that pocket collapsed way too fast on that screen, to where the defense just got their hands up. They forced a little dump over right across the middle there. Watch this.
Yeah, they did get their hands up. Yep, batted it down. Nice job by the defense there.
3rd and 11 now. Ball on the 46. Neither of these two squads for the last 12 minutes offensive have petered out. It's been a scoring fest throughout the last quarter.
4 receivers set. Rogo Takes the snap, looking left side, and that should be pass interference, and it is.
Yeah,
it's going to go against Bruce as he shoved Rogo to the ground in order to make that play.
I don't know if we caught that on camera. Let's take a look there. I think it was out of the view of the camera, but you saw it in real life.
Yeah, Bruce. A little shove off against the receiver.
Yeah, you didn't see the end of it there.
Yeah, it seemed he was locked up with him, and then all of a sudden he was out of bounds.
So that should be a first down after the defensive pass interference.
That's a hard call, especially on a 3rd and 11 situation, but easy call to make as you
Hang on.
see Bruce.
Hang on, what did he say?
Replay the down.
What just happened? Eric, I got to check in with my sideline reporter because I didn't hear it because Tommy was still talking. Eric, what happened?
I don't know. They just called an inverted whistle. They shouldn't have blown the whistle there. He intercepted that pass. They should have let that play out. So I'm not sure what happened there, really.
So why did they throw the flag?
Oh, I don't understand why they're replaying the down.
It doesn't make any sense. They threw a flag on the play. Wow. All right, officiating crew needs to get it straightened out here.
Unless there was offsetting penalties somewhere that I didn't see.
Brockington, the man in motion. Rogo steps up, delivers it over the middle. Complete. Has it to his receiver.
Not going to matter.
But hang on, there's a flag, and it's right around the line of scrimmage. I think you're going to get illegal shift on Tiffin Columbian.
They kind of had Brockington dancing out there in open
Well, he wasn't parallel to the line.
Yeah.
He was still running sideways. And that is a heartbreaker right there because they had some good yardage and it was really close to a first down. But now it backs them up inside Hilltopper territory back to the 49.
I still am not clear on what happened with the defensive pass interference.
Why is the clock still running if there was a... Okay, all right.
3rd and 16 now.
Rogo back to pass. Steps over to the right. He's going to have to get rid of it, and he's brought down. Brought down in the backfield for a loss.
And the Chardon Hilltoppers defense finally get Rogo in the backfield. Bring out the punt unit now for the first time here in the second half.
Alexander Ash on the stop. Now they're going to have to punt it away here. 10:05 left in the ball game. They trail by 8, and they're going to have to punt the ball. 4th and about a mile.
And this drive here in this fourth quarter, just bowling shoe ugly.
I still want to know what they called the flag on. Like, I get it if it was an inadvertent whistle, but what was the flag for? Like, the referee threw the flag for a reason. He saw the play. Regardless of the whistle, he threw the flag.
Because you saw Bruce shove off on Rogo.
Yeah.
Shove the intended receiver down, pick up the
you can talk about stolen interception, whatever. It doesn't matter. That was a defensive pass interference penalty that went uncalled because somebody blew a whistle. I don't understand that. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe Eric might have a better explanation if we can check in with him on the sideline. I think he does. Eric, go ahead, chime in. You got something for us?
From what I understand down here, he was going to call a defensive pass interference and accidentally blew his whistle after throwing the flag. So instead of giving him the penalty, they got an inadvertent whistle. I'm not sure how that works, but that's what I'm hearing down here.
Wow. I just do not understand that at all. No, that was 10 yards down the field, not within 5 yards. I don't care. I was watching that same play. That was clearly defensive pass interference. You can say whatever you want, but I was watching it. It was right in front of me, plain as day. And if that is erased because of an inadvertent whistle after he threw the flag, it doesn't make any sense because what they're saying is because he intercepted it, they didn't let that run out and then the flag came in. because he blew that dead, the play didn't matter, so they have to replay the down. That, to me, doesn't make any sense.
And as we talk about all the time, we hark on these matchups that you know are going to come down to the wire. At the end of the day, regardless of your stance on the call on the field, you can't allow it to fall into the hands of the officials.
That's right.
And in this
That's
situation,
absolutely right, Tommy.
Now, again, the Tornadoes have to rely heavy on this defense to come up with a stop, which they've been unable to do so throughout the last 24 minutes here in the second half. Tall order for the Tornadoes, chasing a score. Chardon with the ball on the 19.
2nd and 10. Francis keeps it off the right side.
Look at that. All the blocks out in front.
And he keeps fighting for more yards. And see, that's how it's done. They're letting all those players get off the sideline. Nobody's swarming around them. Nobody's huddling around them, trying to intimidate them. They're letting them go back to the huddle.
If you're Francis, I don't know if you'd rather almost like stop your forward progress rather than get cleaned up out of bounds. You got a chance to grind on the defense here on this drive, especially with a one-score advantage. That's exactly what you'll see.
Francis keeps it.
How does he make
unloads
that play?
over the middle. He's got a man deep, but he doesn't complete it because he's not used to throwing the ball. Wow.
What a play.
He had a man wide open but could not get it to him.
By Francis in the face of the defenders.
Yeah, way to like step up out of that sack and try to get rid of that one.
Wow. This Francis, a heck of an athlete.
He really is. And for him to get out of that place, still have the wherewithal to try to get the ball down the field, just short-armed it. That's all it was. He just short-armed it. And with the defense bearing down on him like that, I mean, wow.
I think the receiver had a chance at it.
Oh, I think he did, but he's short. Like I said, Tommy, it was just not, it never got there.
Look at that, though.
Ooh.
The stand by the Tornado defense.
Brockington nearly got there. And this one's going to take a Chardon roll all the way down to the 41-yard line, and that's where they will down it. That's where Tiffin Columbian will take over. So they get the stop they needed. After 4 straight scoring drives in the second half, they finally get the stop they needed. And, yeah, I think that has to be the first 3 and out by Chardon I've seen tonight. Seriously.
Well, you got to think, once again, after things not going your way, you can't rely on anybody else to bail you out.
That's right.
Tiffin Columbian, they knew the task ahead of them defensively after giving up a score and then the offense unraveling itself. The defense really had to come up big, and now this offense will take over with another chance to get Columbian back in it with 9:08 remaining as a handoff to Brockington up the middle. He'll get about 2 or 3 on the play.
Now, the Chardon defense has done a much better job here in the second half of containing Damian Brockington.
Reminiscent of the defense they showed in week 1.
That's right.
Very stifling run defense.
They only gave up 13 yards on the ground in week 1 in that 35-0 win over West Geauga.
Look at this 3-man front.
Rogo back to pass.
Coverage.
Steps up. Delivers the ball downfield. He's got Gooding at the 22. Brady Gooding once again demoralizing this defense.
Well, I mean, you put almost a cover 6 out there once again.
And they're just dropping 6 straight back, too.
They had a little bit of confusion there over the middle there in the secondary.
And right Rogo there. Hit as he threw it. Still able to get it away, drop it right in a bucket where only his receiver could make that play.
Well, now you make your way down to the other side of the field. 1st and 10, it's Chardon 20. Rogo back for the pass.
Slings it out left side. Gooding on the reception. Inside the 15, down to the 13-yard line. Brady Gooding. Oh, that's Corper on the reception.
Corper
once
on
again,
that quick wide receiver screen.
Jack Corper really putting his imprint on this one, as I think it's got to be at least his 4th, maybe 5th reception of the ball game. After.
And here's one thing. You talk about that Swiss Army knife for Colombian. Jack Corper not very instrumental last week. you see what you're missing when you don't have a guy like Jack Corper out on the field.
Huge. Slings it out right side, complete.
Move inside.
Corper once again on the reception, breaks a tackle, buries his head forward and down to the 2-yard line. Jack Corper will not be denied.
And way to hang on to that ball and play it safe down there instead of trying to reach out for the score. Great job.
And the Tornadoes on the move once again. First and goal at the 2.
Chardon decides to load the box, and Corper cuts it back in the congested area. Oh, here you
Rogo
go.
in the shotgun, 7:33 left in the game. Handoff, Brockington up the middle, off the left side. Defense comes up with the stop at the 1.
Oh, yeah. Chardon defense. Gonna make you work for every inch. Damian Brockington.
Big time stop there by Austin Lazinski.
If you're a defensive player, it's an unenviable task in of itself. Try to slow down Brockington, but this Hilltopper defense, this is the type of defense you want a guy like Brockington to challenge and see what he can do.
Rogo sees a mismatch on the outside. I think he's trying to call the receiver in motion. Gooding, the man in motion.
Gotta reset.
Braden Rogo. Handoff, Brockington up the middle, touchdown, Tiffin Columbian. Damian Brockington from 1 yard out brings the Tornadoes to within 2.
This game has had everything. 6:48 remaining. Tiffin Columbian playing host. You're talking about Chardon does not want to take that long bus ride home. Looking to play, looking to dominate on the road. The Chardon train coming through Tiffin here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium. And thus far, Tiffin Columbian, they've been up for the climb.
Shotgun formation. Tornadoes going to go for 2 here. Rogo slings it into the end zone. Touched. It's a 2-point conversion. The game is tied at 42 apiece. Wow.
I don't know. Yeah, you see
Brady
right
Gooding is just absolutely toying with this defense tonight.
They send Rogo in motion, tries to create a little bit of confusion there.
And it did. Absolutely worked the way they drew it up.
84 total points scored here tonight, and we still got under 7 minutes to play. Wow, what a ball game here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium.
I've covered a lot of football in my day, and this game it is a human chess match. It has been just who is going to make the least amount of mistakes. Each team has capitalized. Each team has risen to the task when faced with adversity. And that's the biggest thing about football is, again, it's how you react. It's how you answer the call. It's how you react to that adversity. I always say, football, it ain't a game that builds character. It reveals it.
I was just about to say that same thing. Like, what's that thing you always say, Tommy? Oh, man. Brady Gooding is just putting on a show here tonight.
And one of the best week 2 matchups you'll find ever.
Hewitt on the return.
Chardon with a chance with a huge return.
Breakdown in the kick return unit here as Hewitt brings it back to the 45, and he's going to be brought down out of bounds. And a late flag flies in at the end. Looks like possibly a late hit out of bounds on the Tornadoes.
Ooh. And after tying the game up late here, 6:39 remaining, the last thing you want to do is give Chardon great field position to start their drive. Oh, no, not the inadvertent whistle.
No inadvertent whistle on that one, unfortunately.
Woo, that's going to march off a lot.
That's going to give him a lot more yards at the end of that one. So they'll put him at the 35-yard line inside Tornado territory.
That's 4-down territory. But then again, for Chardon, wherever you're at, it's about 4-down territory. They don't face a lot of third and long situations, Greg, or down and distance situations.
Francis all by himself in the shotgun. Man in motion. Fake to the motion man. Francis keeps it himself off the left side. Defense is there to make the stop. Just a 3-yard gain for Will Francis.
And now that read, that adjustment is what you've been looking for there. Now Chardon going to have to extend that playbook a little bit.
And that's exactly what you need out of your defensive backs. You got to have them come up and make some plays on the outside there. I mean, whew. Second and 7. Francis. Handoff to the motion man. Bruce on the carry. He's got it up to the 30, but that's about it. Just a 2-yard gain on the play brings up 3rd and 5.
And again, that's manageable, super manageable, especially when you're averaging about 5 yards per carry. Big chunk yardage.
5:38 left in the ball game. Tied at 42 apiece. Hilltoppers have the ball, 3rd and 5.
This Chardon team is one of those teams I like to call one of those punches and bunches type.
Will Francis under center. Handoff. No, he fakes the handoff. Francis keeps it off the left side, and he's got plenty of running room to the 10, to the 5, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown. No, they're going to say he was down at the 1.
He was absolutely down.
Will Francis down at the 1-yard line. So a 1st and goal coming up here. But once again, Tommy, they are just getting all the blocks they need on the edge. Like the seal on the edge that they are getting is just, I mean.
Just when you think.
That's flex seal.
Just when you think they have the answer, Chardon changes the question.
Yeah.
Colombian has had no answer for that keeper. Especially against the athletic
They just do such a good
Francis.
job running it.
They really do.
It's so deceptive.
And here we're going to see that power bunch formation and just a little bit of what we call a scrum to get them into the end zone here as Colombian will take it straight into the end zone for the touchdown.
Hilltoppers find themselves in the driver's seat once again. As it's kind of a story of two halves here, Nate, as Colombian led for the entire first half of action. Now the Hilltoppers have kept the lead and have stayed in the driver's seat the majority of this one. Tiffin Columbian able to get a lot of that momentum back, tying the score up. But right now, the Hilltoppers put another score on the board.
SYCAMORE's extra point attempt is up, and it is through.
He is money. Man.
So once again, the Hilltoppers, only one possession have they not scored in the second half. They put 35 points on the board here in this second half on this TC defense, who, I mean, Tommy, in the first half, it looked like, they had somewhat figured out the attack because they kept forcing them into long, sustained drives. Now these Chardon Hilltoppers, they're starting to hit some big plays. We've seen it on this last couple of drives for the Hilltoppers. Well, this one and then not the last one, but the one before that, where they hit a couple of big plays and just kind of takes the wind out of the sails of this defense. And when they find themselves with their backs against the wall inside the 20, it's like, these guys are just running downhill, Tommy. These big guys, they love getting the ball inside the 20-yard line.
We're also seeing one of the reasons why they have a game clock for this type of situation is these two teams, they could go back and forth all night, and it's going to come down to when that clock hits double zeros, who's going to make the least amount of mistakes and who's going to put the most points on the board. And Chardon has the lead here. 5:04 remaining. Tiffin Columbian forced to answer back once again.
Hilltoppers set to kick off. Brockington and Corper back deep to return for Tiffin Columbian. At the 10, Brockington on the return.
He's going to return it.
And he's going to bring it back to the 20 or 15 up to the 19. And the Hilltoppers once again jump on the pile at the end. What is the purpose? Why do you need to jump on the guy when he's already down? It's the second time that's happened that they've called it. That should be 15 yards of extra real estate here for the Tornadoes.
Chardon
Absolutely.
does a tremendous job on special teams with the extracurriculars after the fact. Breathe new life into this drive for Colombian to start off.
Disciplined football is what we knew this Chardon team as. You know, we knew this as a disciplined football team. Tonight, they just have not. They seemed like there's been times when they just kind of get out of their comfort zone. Brockington on the carry, and he might have got back to the line of scrimmage. I don't know. I think he's short. Yeah, they're going to say a yard short of the line of scrimmage. So 1 yard loss on the play.
That's the ability to perform when you're out of your comfort zone. That's what separates the good from the great. Chardon on the road, long bus trip against a very high caliber opponent in the state and region that they've seen before. Last year's regional runner-up, 11-2 to finish the season. And you're talking prior to that, you know, again, that climb, back-to-back state champions. Tiffin Columbian was one of those victims in that state semifinal all them years ago when Braden Rogo was just a freshman.
What's the confusion here? Something going on here with the referees. So we're inside of 4:30 to play here in the ball game. Tornadoes trailing by 7. 49-42 is the score. Rogo in the shotgun formation. Takes the snap. Loads it up right side, complete to Corper. Corper trying to find some running room, but there's none there. That defense right there to make the stop as soon as he catches the ball. Just a 1 yard gain on the play.
A little more shallow, and you have a little more press there in the coverage there that time. Instead of coming off, Chardon now came up. Brings up a quick 3rd and 9 now.
Third and 9. 4 receivers set, 1 man in the backfield.
I didn't even see the first down play.
Rogo back to pass, looking, loads it up left side. Corper with the reception. And they're going to say he was out of bounds, but no flag? But he was pushed out of bounds. Watch. Look at the push right there. Bam, pushed him out right there.
Looking for the flag. Did not get one. As they're just going to let him play there on the sidelines.
This is the game here. This is the ball game. You only got 3.5 minutes left, and you have not been able to stop this Hilltopper offense. You got to go for it here. Big 4th down. This is the ball game right here for Tiffin Columbian. 4th and 9. 4 receivers set. Rogo back to pass. Steps up, delivers it down the right side, and it's complete. Corper at the 40-yard line. Jack Corper, ice in his veins.
And Corper once again brings the paddles out to keep this drive alive for the Tornadoes. They move the chains. They move into the other side of the field now. Colombian chasing after Chardon. 49-42, 3:28 remaining. Rogo in the gun. Brockington on his hip.
Hand off to Brockington. Off the left side. Defense is there to make the stop after just a 2 yard gain.
This game has lived up to the build. We definitely touted it as the non-conference matchup to keep your eye on in the state and in the area, and man, this one has delivered.
Second and 9. Rogo back to pass. Sets up the screen for Brockington once again. Cuts it up. He's into the open. Tripped up. Shoestring tackle to save the touchdown.
What a play by Chardon.
Austin Green coming up with that shoestring tackle.
The playmaker defensively once again coming up huge to save a scoring play. Colombian, though, resets the chains.
Oh, just by the fingertip. Woo. First and 10, ball at the 24-yard line. Rogo in the shotgun. One man in the backfield. 3 receivers set. Handoff, Brockington up the middle. Short gain, maybe 2. Up to the 23.
Chardon, unsure of themselves defensively in that look, decided to bring more guys into the box and creep them up, meeting Brockington.
Boy, you want to talk about an instant classic right here? There's not a single fan that is sitting down right here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium. Everybody on their feet. 1:45 left in the ball game. 2nd and 9. Rogo back to pass. Slings it right side into the end zone. Oh, incomplete. Nice coverage down the field. Great coverage down there by Caleb Hewitt.
Breaks it up.
Actually, that was Bruce on the coverage down there. Andrew Bruce. Or was it 3?
Yep,
I had it right. It was 3.
Yep.
It was Caleb Hewitt. Nice job by Hewitt on the coverage there. Yeah, this is an instant classic right here.
Minute 37.
3rd down.
3rd and 9.
Money down.
3 receivers set. Rogo back to pass. Looking, rolls to his right. Got to get rid of it. Gets it to his man. It's complete. They got the first down. On 3rd and 9, the Hilltoppers give up another first down.
Well, Colombian, great heads-up play by Rogo, making chicken salad out of chickens. You know what on that one, too.
Whew.
On the run.
Wow.
Unreal. Way to come back and get that one.
Almost 1,000 people watching right now, tuned into what is surely the game of the week here in high school football. 1st and 10, Rogo, handoff, Brockington.
Met.
Stood up and dropped right past the line of scrimmage, and we're inside of a minute to play.
Colombian, all 3 timeouts.
Chardon with just 2 left. Tornadoes taking their time because they don't want to give the ball back to Chardon with too much time on the clock. If you do score here, you don't want to give it back to the Hilltoppers with any time left. Down to 35. 2nd and 9. Rogo in the shotgun. 3 receivers set. Rogo back to pass. Looking, slings it. Incomplete. Going for Bryce Rogo, but a flag flies in, and that is going to be targeting. Has to be at least defenseless receiver, because I'm telling you right now, Rogo is still down on the play, and another flag flies in at the end of the play.
Turpin.
More extracurricular activity.
I'm not sure if I caught that one on time on a replay. We'll try to take a look here.
I'm not sure what the call is on the second flag, but I know that first one was definitely a helmet to helmet. Watch this. Watch that hit. Helmet to helmet, clear as day. That's what the flag was for in the first place. Now, what's the second flag for?
You get down there in the
because if you go half the distance and then half the distance, boy, you're talking about pretty close to 1st and goal.
Well, that's a... And Rogo took a shot. And, I mean, again, when you're down there in the red zone, it's almost no man's land for
targeting
receivers.
On Chardon. Unsportsmanlike on Chardon. Once again, the wheels coming off for the Hilltoppers. They have not shown much discipline here tonight at all.
Their own worst enemy.
For a team that has been
Colombian to hang around here. Again, Tiffin Columbian, no slouch, hosting one of the top teams in the state.
On the 3-yard line.
So the ball at the 3-yard line, 1st and goal, 24 seconds left to play. Wow, what a ball game. Instant classic here on Heart of Ohio Sports.
You can see the crowd getting into it.
Oh, I love it.
A little bit here.
1st and goal, ball at the 3, 24 seconds left. Rogo in the shotgun. 2 receivers set. Rogo going to keep it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tiffin Columbian. And the Tornadoes punch it in from 3 yards out. And they are 1 point away from tying it up. Now, what's the call, Tommy? What's the call?
Oh my
The
God.
crowd here at Frost-Kalnow
Everybody wants them to go for 2.
They want 2.
Everybody wants 2.
Either tie this one up. Oh, man.
Timeout called. Timeout's brought to you by Hope in Fostoria. Folks, let's take a moment and thank all of our sponsors because I'm thankful for them for allowing us to be here. Thank you to Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Buckeye IT, XCARET Mexican Restaurant, Hope in Fostoria, First National Bank of Sycamore, UIS Insurance and Investments, STEINMETZ Signs and Graphic Inc., Lee's Floor Covering, Little HUGO'S, 5-Star Maintenance, DAH Wraps, CLOUSE Electric, FEASEL'S Frame and Collision, Webster Industries, Burns Electric, Circle H Tire, Benchwarmers Restaurant and Delivery, SARA REISEN, Century 21 Bolte in Tiffin, and Pit Stop, all proud sponsors with us here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Wow.
Well, here's the deal. You've been unable here in the second half to stop the high-powered offense of the Chardon Hilltoppers. If you go for 1 and you tie it up here, you're forcing overtime, or at least giving Hilltoppers a chance to score on you with probably 20 seconds left. But if you go for all of it right now, you put this one away, you do not give the Hilltoppers a chance in overtime with short field to get in there and then force your offense to score. I mean, again, you have
This is the ball game.
You have your faith in your offense.
This is it. This is the ball game right here. And a timeout called by Chardon. That's a wise timeout there by Coach Mitch Hewitt as he saw what he wanted to see and he said, all right, now let's plan for it. Timeout by both teams. Of course, timeout's brought to you by Hope in Fostoria. Make sure you stick around for the post-game show. Brought to you by Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, where we'll have our player of the game presented by Little HUGO'S. I could use some Little HUGO'S right now. Cool me down. It is warm up here, man. They forgot to turn the AC on in the press box today because I am like roasting up here.
I think it's just your adrenaline here on the adrenaline stream getting the best of you as this one has come down to the wire. Tiffin Columbian answering the call here in the second half. Chardon finally taking their first lead of the game and just each possession. There's 14 unanswered points here to start the second half, folks.
All right. Offense on the field.
Here we go.
Here's the ball game. 21 seconds left. Down by 1. Tornadoes going for 2. Rogo. Low snap. Rolls to his right. Gets it into the end zone. 2-point conversion is good. It's good. It's good. Let's go, Tornadoes.
With a chance to close
They lead by 1.
Chardon.
Wow. What a gutsy call by that Tornadoes coaching staff.
This has been the game in Ohio to watch. If you aren't watching, what are you doing? Share, like, subscribe, tell a friend that the biggest game in Northwest Ohio is here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium on Heart of Ohio Sports as now 21 seconds.
Wow.
For one of the biggest wins in Tiffin Columbian football history. A chance at it. A chance at that. Another bite at the apple, if you will, from all those years ago. No running clock here in this meeting. Once again, both these squads, tooth and nail, for 48 minutes. 21 seconds remain.
This is the best game I have ever called, Tommy. Best game ever. Seriously, I don't think I've called a better game than this.
And we can't thank you at home enough for joining us.
Please help us out. Like Tommy said, share this video.
Huge.
I'd kick it out of bounds here. Yep, just kick it out of bounds.
They're going to field it.
Hewitt going to field it on the run, and he's going to be brought down right at the 25-yard line. So 15 seconds left. And the Tornadoes have got to come up with a stop here.
You got a few shots at it, though, if you're the Chardon Hilltoppers.
And, you know, if you're the Hilltoppers, you still got a timeout. I'd run the ball here. I would run the ball here because they've had so much success running the ball.
All you need to do is get to that second
That's
level.
Right.
All you need to do is close off the edge. You get one chance at that. Even if it doesn't succeed, you get to call that last timeout like you talked about, Nate. You get another. Then you get a couple shots downfield with it. We'll see which way Chardon decides to go with it.
That's right.
With 15 seconds remaining.
Clean, solid defense here.
Francis.
They are going to just
steps up. He's going to take off. He's going to run. He's going to be brought down at the 30-yard line. Timeout called by Chardon with 8 seconds left. Will Francis, I tell you, his comfort zone is running the ball. So that's as soon as he saw defenders out there, he said, nope, I'm just going to run it. Now, if he takes off and runs and gets tackled in bounds, game's over.
I think Braylon Allmall.
So you have got to throw the ball here.
I think Braylon Allmall may have just made the play of the game, tripping up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Francis on that one as he waited for the pocket. He had all the time in the world, nothing developing, trying to run it upfield. 8 seconds left here. No timeouts remaining.
Big time stop there by that TC defense, but they need another one.
They tried coming up to the ball. The ref said, hold on a minute, hold on.
Hang on.
And here we go. 8 seconds remain. Colombian.
What a ball game.
Up 1 point, 50-49.
Francis back to pass. Looking. He's hit as he throws, and that's nope, there's still one play. 2 seconds left.
Incomplete
2 seconds
pass.
left.
Incomplete pass.
Hang on.
Hold on.
Hang on.
Sights had Francis in his sights and is able to get the stop as that one falls into the dirt. 2 seconds remaining here on a huge third down with the ball on the 30-yard line, Nate.
This is the ball game right here. We've said it a few times already, but this is definitely the ball game. 2 seconds left. Last play of the game. And the Tornadoes just need to keep everything in front of them here.
And you got the athletes, if you're Chardon, to make something happen here.
70 yards between them and a week 2 win. 3 receivers set. Will Francis in the shotgun, takes the snap. And hang on. Delay a game against the Hilltoppers. Took a little too long to get that one in.
And I mean, that's the story of the game there. The game on the line, a situational down, a moment in time to keep yourself in the driver's seat and take the momentum, and a self-inflicted wound by Chardon now may have stalled this drive. And again, 2 seconds remaining.
This is it. 3rd and 10, ball at the 25-yard line. Will Francis in the backfield, one back in the backfield with him. Francis, back to pass. Steps up, holding on the offense.
That's the whole
Francis delivers it down the field. He's got Bruce, but that's the end of the game.
They decline that penalty too.
Wait for the flag. Wait. Get everybody off the field. I'm a Browns fan. We have to wait until the flag has been determined here.
Things have to be done the right way.
As a Browns fan, I don't know who that holding call was against, so let's just wait and let the referee sort this one out before we start celebrating, all right?
Yeah, it's holding down there. You watched them dancing there with the tackle.
That's it. That's the end of the game.
Wow.
That's the ball game. Tiffin Columbian comes away with a huge Week 2 win over the Chardon Hilltoppers. 50-49 is your final score. What a ball game here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium.
And let the victory bell ring out. 50 rings for the biggest win in Tiffin Columbian history here tonight against Chardon. I said it. I knew that is a fact, Jack. This was the biggest win in this program's history, being able to take on a team like Chardon, who always is a playoff perennial, the litmus test you waited for and needed out of the squad. And Tiffin Columbian hung on for 48 minutes. They hung on to be able to take over and be able to upend one of the top teams in the state and send Chardon on a long bus ride home here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium as Tiffin Columbian, once again, your score, 50-49.
All right, folks, we're going to step aside, take a quick timeout. We'll come back with the postgame show brought to you by Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, and we'll have our player of the game presented by Little HUGO'S. Don't go anywhere. We still got a long way. We got to break this one down. Now that the temperatures come down, now that the blood pressures come down a little bit, we got to break this down because this was an instant classic. We'll be right back after this. You're watching Heart of Ohio Sports.
Keep it locked in. You're watching Heart of Ohio Sports.
At Heart of Ohio Sports, it's obvious. The first thing that comes to mind is sports. But we do a lot more than just cover live sporting events.
Go, go, go!
When we want to watch our highlights from last night's game, there's only one place we go: Heart of Ohio Sports.
Little Hugo's is Tiffin's longest-running ice cream store, in operation since 1949. A local family-owned business, you know them because of those famous shredded chicken sandwiches and their delicious fresh lemon slushes. Stop by today and take advantage of their convenient drive-thru, where you're sure to find something for the whole family to enjoy at Little Hugo's on West Market Street in Tiffin. It's time for high school football on Heart of Ohio Sports. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Heart of Ohio Sports. Why go to Lease Floor Covering in Tiffin? Because at Lease Floor Covering, they know that selecting the right flooring for your home can be overwhelming. They make choosing the right items for your home simple. At Lease Floor Covering, they have one of the largest selections of floor covering in Northwest Ohio, including Abbey Carpet and Floor. Stop in and see for yourself what everyone raves about at Lease Floor Covering in Tiffin.
Small business owners need somebody that can open the door to financing. And at First National Bank of Sycamore, we love opening the door for financing opportunities.
You're locked into the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Heart of Ohio Sports. You're watching high school football on Heart of Ohio Sports.
For high school students, this can be a fun time of year. Prom, graduation, summer vacations, etc. Sometimes students will attend parties that permit underage drinking.
There are serious legal consequences and liability issues for parents who serve alcohol to underage students. This could include fines, lawsuits, and even jail time.
Parents can be held responsible for underage drinking, even if they're not home when it happens. The best gift you can give your child is to be their parent, not their friend.
Don't be a party to teenage drinking. Parents who host lose the most.
Buckeye IT Services is a trusted partner for cybersecurity, fully managed and co-managed IT support. Municipalities, financial organizations, and mature businesses turn to them to eliminate IT stress and enable growth. Visit BuckeyeIT.com today to start your partnership. Make sure to check out this week's edition of the Heart of Ohio Sports Observer by Josh Morgret on heartofohiosports.com. UIS Insurance and Investments, your hometown agency providing a full range of insurance and financial services with a local touch. Contact your local homegrown agent, Jeff Leopold, for a professional review today at 419-447-4242, extension 1144.
We connect fans to the action like no one else can. As a business in today's market, you got to stay ahead of the game. And what better way than to get on board with the fastest growing brand in media today? I mean, you can take it from me, or you can just listen to them.
When recruiters want to see our game film, we tell them they can watch it on Heart of Ohio Sports.
It's time for high school football on Heart of Ohio Sports. Keep it locked in. You're watching Heart of Ohio Sports.
Legacy Federal Credit Union, your premier financial institution in Seneca County since 1952. Your community, your legacy. Federally insured NCUA.
You're locked into the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Heart of Ohio Sports.
All right, and we're back here. Frost-Kalnow Stadium, your final score, 50-49 on a gutsy last last-minute 2-point conversion call by Judd Lutz and his coaching staff. I mean, Tommy, you had to think about it. In that situation, you're down by 1. You'd been trailing most of the second half. What's going through Judd's mind at that time? I mean, that's a call that a man that trusts his team makes. And you can tell that he had the most trust in his team tonight, because when the game was on the line, he put it in the hands of his senior quarterback. And look what happened.
I think that's exactly, you hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what a good program does. They can put the trust into the players to go out there and execute. And when things aren't always going your way, again, execution, being there, trust, commitment, care, always kind of one of the mantras of this Colombian football squad. And, you know, year in, year out, you talk about league championships, you talk about those postseason runs. But once you get a taste of that deep run, then that kind of always sticks with you as a program, and the standard changes.
That's right.
And when you schedule these non-conference games, again, I know Tiffin Columbian's played some great teams in the past, and they've had some huge wins, but arguably this is really one of the biggest wins in this program's history, being able to take on a state perennial like Chardon, who, again, you need these litmus tests in your non-conference schedule to really see where you stand among the cream of the crop, because the cream always rises, and Tiffin Columbian rose to the occasion here tonight in a huge 50-49 win over Chardon here at home.
That was just, I mean, if you have high blood pressure and you were watching the end of that game, I'm sorry. Because that was something else. One of the most exciting games I've ever been a part of. To be able to watch that from start to finish. I mean, the Tornadoes took a 7-point lead into the locker room, and then Chardon came out and just absolutely every time they took the ball, they had an answer for that TC defense, and that's a large part in why you make that call at the end of the game. You don't want to kick the extra point and tie it up, because you haven't been able to stop this offense all night, really, except for one time in the second half. So I think that was the right call to make in that situation. If you're Judd Lutz, like I said, you put the trust in your guys to get it done, and they got it done, Tommy, and they got it done big time. 50 points on the board, 99 total points scored here tonight at Frost-Kalnow Stadium. One of the highest scoring games I've ever been a part of, and I cannot thank all of you enough for tuning in here with us on Heart of Ohio Sports. Once again, you're tuned into the Your Legacy Federal Credit Union post-game show. I want to give a shout-out and a thank you to all of our sponsors, but we do have one more senior spotlight to get to, so we want to go ahead and give the seniors their just due here.
It got so exciting there at the end.
I know.
We had a chance to get this one in there.
We had one more to get to, so we want to make sure we get. And Greggy did such a great job with these graphics, and these kids deserve that spotlight. I mean, look at that line. They led the way here tonight, Tommy. They gave Braden Rogo just enough time so that he could dissect this defense. I'd like to see what his passing yards are in this game. He had to have been close to 300 yards.
Well, you know, again, the way that Tiffin Columbian was able to answer and keep up, you know, one of the things that you seen out there on the field and on display was the way this team came together and utilized all their weapons. And you talk about guys like Brady Gooding, who really was instrumental in setting the tone here tonight. A pick six early on, put points on the board, drew first blood here at Frost-Kalnow Stadium, put TC up 7-0, but then they had guts by Chardon on a fourth down play, able to turn that into points to tie this one up. And these two teams, you know, again, Chardon kept finding themselves with mental miscues that allowed Tiffin Columbian to execute and capitalize on to really kind of dictate the pace of that first half of action. But in the second half, it was night and day. It was Jekyll and Hyde for Chardon as they came out after and put 14 unanswered points on the board, had Colombian playing catch-up there, and really got into a shootout there at the end between these two squads to where Tiffin Columbian able to execute. I said it that it was going to come down to the last seconds of the clock, who was going to have the most points when this one expired. And Tiffin Columbian, with 21 seconds left, able to put the kibosh on this one with a huge 2-point conversion that put them ahead 50-49 to close this one out in a huge Week 2 win.
Tornadoes led coming out of the locker room and then gave up that lead in a matter of 2 minutes. And then the next time they led was at the end of the game, 50-49. And I'm telling you, it was probably one of the most roller coaster type games I've ever been a part of, to watch this back and forth. Every time one team had a haymaker, the other team had an uppercut. You know, it was like just when you thought one team had it in control, the other team came back and said, nope, I got this. And that's the story of the game. When you think about it, at the end of the game, Tiffin Columbian, I mean, they're down by 7 points at the end of that game. Anything could have happened there, Tommy. There was a 4th down conversion that they converted on that drive, a 3rd and 9 conversion. I mean, so many times they went to the well, and you expected it at one point to dry up. It just never did. It was just an exciting ball game from the start to finish, and this team just kept pulling rabbits out of the hat, and rabbit out of the hat, and by the end of the game, they showed you what magic they can produce.
Well, that was the thing, too, is even when the running game, Tiffin Columbian really had a good run game. They just didn't need it because in those situations where they were able to do the balanced attack with the run and also implement some of the pass, when they had an open look downfield, Colombian took advantage of it. And, again, the result of that, taking advantage of that, brings us with my man here, our player of the game, Little HUGO'S player of the game, BG3, Brady Gooding, whose impressive 4 touchdowns here tonight and the one for a pick 6 had definitely helped seal the deal for a huge win in program history against a team like Chardon. First off, congratulations, young man. Huge win. How you feeling after being able to dispatch the squad?
Oh, just excited, you know, after seeing what they did to us back in the Final Four of the playoffs, man. That was a big game for us, and our coach has been game planning that forever.
Told you that stuck.
And I'm just glad we can get it done tonight.
So you were a freshman on that team back in 2020. Talk about, was there any kind of extra motivation for this game tonight? I mean, they really hung one on you guys in 2020. Was there any extra motivation for this one?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, all we think about is big bad Chardon and what they did to us, and we want to come out and prove ourselves tonight and show them that we can do the same thing that they can, and I think we proved ourselves tonight.
I think so too, man. I think this was a statement game for you guys.
For sure.
You know, I said we were talking about the season preview, kickoff party at XCARET Mexican restaurant back in a couple weeks ago, and I said, you know, if they win this game, I don't know if they're going to lose a game all year.
True.
And I'm telling you what, man, this momentum that you can get from winning a game like this, it can carry you to a long way.
Absolutely.
This is going to be a fun ride for you guys.
Absolutely.
Talk about what kind of a mentality your team has now going forward.
Now it's just it's one game at a time. We can't look ahead at stuff like that. Like Coach says, it's always one game at a time. Look at what we got right in front of us, and I think that's what we're going to do.
That's right. Who you got in front of you now?
I think it's River Valley.
Yeah,
River
unfortunately,
Valley,
that's the only game we're not going to be covering this year.
Hey, it's all right.
But I was so glad that we were here for this one tonight, man.
Absolutely.
Tommy?
Crazy game.
Got any final thoughts here for BG3?
No, I just, you know, when you enter this program and you watch these teams of the past and they get to, you know, those deep playoff runs, you've seen these squads, you know, kind of peter out or hit these walls, if you will, in the postseason. I really think in you guys' non-conference schedule, scheduling a team like Chardon, I said it was going to be the litmus test, and I really think here tonight you guys really got a glance of where you guys kind of stand in the lay of the land here in your region and not only Division III. So again, I would take that as added motivation that, hey, you guys are the real deal, and there's a storm brewing here in Tiffin, Ohio, and the Tornadoes are coming for you.
All right, you got a $10 gift card for Little HUGO'S. What's your go-to Little HUGO item?
Oh, I like that that hot fudge brownie thing there. It's really good.
Ooh, okay, all right. I like that. All right, well, you got $10 to spend. That goes a long way at Little HUGO'S.
Oh, absolutely.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Thank
Once
you guys
again,
for coming.
Brady Gooding, our Little HUGO'S player of the game. And, man, what a ball game it was.
Absolutely.
Pick 6, 3 tutties, 2-point conversion. I mean, that's a heck of a ball game.
Yep.
Congratulations, young man.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Once again, you're tuned in here on the Your Legacy Federal Credit Union post-game show. Nate Mullins, Tommy Hall with you. Greg Kinn on the ones and twos keeping us live. I'm telling you, folks, this was an instant classic. And if you've made it this far, please help us out. Do us a favor. Share the video. Like, follow, subscribe on all of our platforms. we can't thank you enough for tuning in here with us. And like I said, this one I think is going to be one of those ones where we're going to have to go back and probably play this one again sometime down the road as like a classic, maybe a Saturday or a Sunday morning classic revisit game. Because man, what a ball game.
I tell you what, this will be definitely a memorable one to remember, especially for this program, as it was just an honor to really get to be in on the call and see this 2023 campaign that Coach Lutz and the Tornadoes are putting together. And like I said, after a decade of doing this with you guys, these Tornadoes, they definitely put a statement out there tonight that they were a team to be reckoned with here in Division III and in the region.
That's absolutely right.
Absolutely, guys. You know, I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves here, but there was plenty of points in this game here tonight where Colombian teams of yesteryear, of old, years past, those were the moments where I said, oh, this is it. It's too much. This is where it turns around, that everything starts to go downhill, and that never happened here tonight. It never happened. Anytime they got themselves down, they picked themselves right back up, and that's something that's a little bit new for a Tiffin team for me to see. You know, like getting far behind and then not being out. That's the real deal this year.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, that's
the reality check.
I didn't go to Colombian growing up, and you guys have a lot of the bitter taste in your mouth from some hard fought defeats in the past in this program. I feel like the ghosts of all of that is going to carry this team farther than they've ever been in the playoffs this year. I really feel like this is the team. Colombian fans, if you're watching this, you need to get behind this team. You need to embrace this team. Every home game from here on out, you should be packing these stands in full support of this team, because this is the team. I'm telling you. Yeah, this is the team.
Like I said, I was a little bit trepidatious looking over the schedule this year for Tiffin Columbian, looking at who they scheduled. I was like, man.
This was the game everybody said. When that schedule came out last year, everybody's like, whoa, Chardon? Wait, what? Chardon? We're playing Chardon in the regular season?
And if that's not a compliment in itself to Chardon, you know, that's, like you said, Tommy, the litmus test. That's the team to beat. So.
Well, the litmus test is a nice way to put it. What it really is, in your heart of hearts, is the reality check.
That's right.
And, again, you went out there, you played a full 48 minutes against a very, very quality, high-caliber team, and you got that reality check to see where you are in the lay of the land. And we were happy to bring it to you folks right here on Heart of Ohio Sports.
Well, I'll tell you what, Greggy, that game film really paid off for him, didn't it? Judd said
he had it.
Not saying that Judd said that he had it, but, you know, he said if he did have it,
if he did do that,
then a good coach would have poured over that for the last 5 months. So I think you got a pretty good coach here, Tiffin. Yeah. I'm just saying. What a statement win for this Colombian football team here this year. All right, any final thoughts here before we wrap this thing up?
Big old smile on my face. I'm sure there's a big old smile on all their faces.
Well, you can't rest on your laurels. You still have a full 8 weeks ahead of you. And, again, you're off on the right foot, and you let this game carry you. This is one of those games, like you talked about at the beginning of the program. You can let it either set the tone for your season or you can let it derail it. Mm-hmm. And tonight, Tiffin Columbian in some precarious spots, able to come away and show up, show out, come away with the W here at home, and it's going to be an interesting season for the Tornadoes.
You better get started ringing that bell. They got 50 rings. They'll be up till 2 in the morning.
Well, that's what took him so long to get here, because he had to ring it 50 times. All right, once again, your final score, Tiffin Columbian 50, Chardon 49. I want to take a moment and thank all of our sponsors before we wrap things up here. Thanks to Your Legacy Federal Credit Union, Buckeye IT Services, XCARET Mexican Restaurant, Hope in Fostoria, First National Bank of Sycamore, UIS Insurance and Investments, STEINMETZ Signs and Graphic Inc., Lee's Floor Covering, Little HUGO'S, 5-Star Maintenance, DAH Wraps, CLOUSE Electric, FEASEL'S Frame and Collision, WEBSTER Industries, Burns Electric, Circle H Tire, BENCHWARMERS Restaurant and Delivery, SARA REISEN Century 21 BOLTE in Tiffin, and Pit Stop. All proud sponsors with us here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Once again, thank you all for tuning in. If you haven't already, please do us a favor. Click that share button. help us. It helps so much. It spreads the word. It gets us to new audiences. And after a game like this, there's a lot of people out there that need to watch this. Just saying. All right, folks. Once again, for Tommy Hall, Greg Kinn, Austin Rodriguez, Zach Blythe, and Eric Hall, I'm Nate Mullins, signing off from Frost-Kalnow Stadium. 50-49 is your final score. Tiffin Columbian on top, and they move on 2-0 to face the River Valley Vikings next week. Thanks for tuning in here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Have a great night, everybody.
That's a